Chapter 552. What? Sun Susu was stunned again. She thought she had misheard him. I said I'll pay now. Wang Zhong took out his bank cards. He had a lot of bank cards with him now. Each of them was worth at least a few $100 million. There were even millions and tens of millions. Actually, he wanted to keep a low profile by buying a car that cost more than $5 million. Sun Susu was stunned. Sir, aren't you going to bargain? Sun Susu said that she could give him a discount. She was a kind person. She thought that Wang Zhong might be an ignorant rich kid who wanted to show off and bought a car. It was so much money. If he could bargain, she would feel better. Wang Zhong was happy. The seller was asking him to bargain. Sure enough, she was the same as Sun Susu in his previous world. They were both so kind. Back then, Sun Xiuxiu had done everything herself in order to help the victims of the disaster. Sir, Susu doesn't know anything. Let me take care of you. At this time, a gorgeously dressed woman walked over. She was the top salesperson of this 4S store. She was also the manager. Her name was Monica. She gave herself a foreign name to show that she was not ordinary. Monica was a very capable woman. Otherwise, she would not have become the manager here at such a young age. She had her own little secret, which was her beauty. With her beauty, she made the boss here give her face and let her become the manager. With her beauty, she seduced the big boss who came to buy a car. She made some deals and made the big boss buy her car. Thus, she became the top salesperson. Monica did not like Sun Susu. She had no choice. Before Sun Susu came, the boss only liked her. The customers who bought cars also liked to deal with beauties like her. But when Sun Susu came, the boss looked at Sun Susu differently. So, she wanted Sun Susu to leave. This time, seeing Sun Susu sell a car so easily, she felt very uncomfortable, so she hurried over. Manager, this is my guest. Sun Susu frowned. Ever since she started working here, Monica's attitude towards her had been very bad. This time, they even wanted to steal her clients. She couldn't stand it. Xiuxiu, you didn't explain it to the guests clearly enough. Let me do it. Monica smiled and moved closer to Wang Zhong. Sir, let me introduce the car to you. She was very close to Wang Zhong. Her low-cut cleavage was almost completely exposed to Wang Zhong. Monica was very pleased with herself. She had already gone all out. How could she be afraid that this young man wouldn't take the bait? Monica was very clear about a man's mentality. My apologies, Miss Monica. Wang Zhong glanced at the name on Monica's chest and shook his head helplessly. I'm talking to Miss Susu. In other words, he was asking Monica to leave. Monica secretly scolded Wang Zhong for not understanding the situation, but she concealed it very well. She moved closer and whispered, Sir, there's no need to rush. What's so fun about looking for her? Let's go to the hotel behind later. I really want to take a bath. Damn, are all selling cars like this now? Wang Zhong was shocked. Originally, he thought that Monica was quite pretty, but now, he felt that she was a little disgusting. Think about it, if she sold cars like this usually, how many people would have slept with her? No need. I think Miss Susu is quite good. Wang Zhong raised his voice this time. I'm giving you face, right? If you don't shout louder, you won't leave. Monica's face froze and she laughed. Susu, you go and receive the guest. She didn't have the face to stay any longer and turned to leave. Sun Susu was so emotional that her face was red. She looked at Wang Zhong with eyes full of gratitude. Sir, thank you for helping me out. It's okay. But as your manager, does she always bully you like this? Sun Susu sighed. She was not used to talking about people behind their backs. Let's not talk about this anymore. Let's settle the paperwork. Wait a minute. Sun Susu quickly pulled Wang Zhong to the side and explained. Sir, actually, I can give you a discount on this car. Sun Susu felt that Wang Zhong was such a nice person and could let him spend less money. Okay. Wang Zhong did not reject Sun Susu. The Sun Susu in front of him looked very similar to his wife, but he was not sure if they were the same person. He didn't need to make it, so that he didn't even need a discount. Soon, the paperwork was completed. He remembered that today was Shen Shuangshuang's birthday, and he bought a red car. It was around 200,000 renminbi. In this world, Shen Shuangshuang was the only one who knew his identity. Buying a car for her could be considered as a surprise for her. Miss Susu, it's already noon. I bought 2 cars at once. Aren't you going to treat me to a meal? Wang Zhong smiled. Yes, of course. Sun Susu secretly thought that she was really insensible. The two of them arranged to go to a restaurant at the back. The price was not expensive. Mr. Wang, what do you do? You're so young, but you actually bought such a good car? Sun Susu was very surprised. My family used to be a landlord. Wang Zhong made a joke, but this was not a joke. Sun Susu used to be a landlord. Mr. Wang really knows how to joke. Sun Susu smiled. Miss Sun, do you know what Monica said to me before? Sun Susu shook her head suspiciously. She really did not know. She only thought that Monica was very good at selling cars. Wang Zhong told Sun Susu what Monica said. Sun Susu was immediately stunned. Sun Susu knew how beautiful Monica was. Wang Zhong actually rejected such a beauty. Why? Sun Susu's heart thumped. There was no need to ask. It must be because of her. Could it be that he wants to sleep with me? Sun Susu's face changed. I must strictly reject him. I wonder why Mr. Wang rejected me? Sun Susu asked cautiously. No reason. I just don't like her. Do you usually sell cars like this? Of course not. Sun Susu quickly said. She's the only one like this. No wonder those male customers like to look for her. So it's because of this. But she will always make things difficult for you in the future. It's very troublesome, Wang Zhong said. Yes, but there's no other way. Sun Susu thought of her difficult family. She was a little worried. Wang Zhong originally wanted to say that she could come to him if she needed help. But after thinking about it, it was a little too abrupt to suddenly say that. Humans were very strange creatures. If you suddenly wanted to help others, it would make them vigilant and even afraid of you. You seem to have something on your mind, Wang Zhong asked. And it's fine now. This time they sold 2 cars at once. One of them was more than 5 million. The commission was quite a lot. This solved their urgent problem. After eating something, when they were about to leave, Wang Zhong asked, Susu, can I trouble you with something? What's the matter? Sun Susu was a little vigilant. She was really worried that Wang Zhong would have some improper thoughts. If that was really the case, she must sternly refuse. Wang Zhong felt that his request was a little difficult to say, but there was no other way. It's like this. In the end, Wang Zhong decided to say it. Can you show me your waist? After being husband and wife with Sun Susu, Wang Zhong naturally knew that Sun Susu had a scar on her waist. He had a deep impression because at that time, Sun Susu said that this scar was left behind when she was bitten by a dog when she was young. Wang Zhong thought that if it was really the same person, Sun Susu must have this scar on her body. If not, then it might be 2 people. He didn't need to think too much. What? Sun Susu suddenly stood up. I just want to take a look. You, how can you do this? Without waiting for Wang Zhong to finish his explanation, Sun Susu said with a speechless face, Let me tell you, I'm not like Monica. Mr. Wang, I'm very happy that you bought a car from me. But if you think that you can make me do other things, let me tell you, it's impossible. Well, she really misunderstood. But thinking about it, if he directly asked a girl if he could see her waist when they met for the first time, she would definitely think that he was being a hooligan. Susu, listen to me. I just want to see the scar. Before he finished his words, Sun Susu picked up her bag and left. The most important thing was that she didn't even pay the bill. Wang Zhong really wanted to grab her with one hand and tell her what he wanted, but doing so would definitely scare Sun Susu. Now that Sun Susu had misunderstood him, if he did this again, he was afraid that she would directly call the police. It would be difficult for him to get close to Sun Susu in the future. Forget it. I'll slowly find an opportunity in the future. Because the car still needed to go through various procedures, Wang Zhong took the invoice and other documents and left for the time being. When he returned home, he received a message from Shen Shuangshuang. Shen Shuangshuang said that she was going shopping with her best friend. At 4 p.m., at the Dragon Phoenix Hall private room of the Hidden Dragon Hotel, they would have a gathering. Wang Zhong replied that he understood. Brother Wang, let me introduce you, this is my classmate. When he arrived at the place where Shen Shuangshuang agreed to meet, Shen Shuangshuang introduced Wang Zhong in surprise. Today was Shen Shuangshuang's birthday. In addition to her good friend Lin Shi, a few of Shen Shuangshuang's classmates also came. These classmates were Shen Shuangshuang's roommates. These roommates were all first-class beauties. In addition, these beauties' boyfriends were also Shen Shuangshuang's classmates. Hello everyone. My name is Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong introduced himself and sat beside Shen Shuangshuang. Shuangshuang, your boyfriend is quite handsome. What does he do? A classmate who was not tall asked. This person was called Shi Sudong. In the past he was a bit interested in Shen Shuangshuang. However, Shen Shuangshuang did not pay much attention to him, which made him feel very frustrated. Now, taking advantage of this birthday gathering, Shi Sudong wanted to see how powerful Shen Shuangshuang's boyfriend was. That's right, he regarded Wang Zhong as Shen Shuangshuang's boyfriend. After all, they looked very intimate. He wanted to compete with Wang Zhong and let Shen Shuangshuang know that although he was short and not very good-looking, he was very capable. Now he was working in a design company. Every day he worked overtime. His monthly salary was an amazing 15,000 yuan. Moreover, he also had to pay for 2 bowls of instant noodles a day. He believed that Shen Shuangshuang would be very surprised by his ability, so he asked deliberately. Chapter 553. Me? I don't usually do anything. Wang Zhong smiled faintly at Shi Sudong. Hehehe, you don't have a job. If you need anything you can tell me. My company just happens to be short of people. Shi Sudong said faintly. Okay, sure. His vision was now different. Wang Zhong didn't want to explain anything. Jean Lei is here. At this time, a girl who went to the toilet ran in and said anxiously. Jean Lei, the famous young master of their class, had a decoration company. At that time, the other students didn't have much monthly living expenses. Only Jean Lei had a monthly living expenses of 5,000 yuan. It was said that after graduation, he also opened a decoration company and drove a 200,000 yuan car. He was just like a small boss. Among this group of young people with no family background, Jean Lei, who was in his 20s, was really not bad. Sure enough, after hearing what the girl said, 2 girls who thought they were good-looking sat up straight. These were all girls who wanted to marry into good families. Wang Zhong also understood. Who didn't want to marry well? Which man didn't want to marry well? But this was a bit obvious. To Wang Zhong's surprise, Shi Sudong stood up nervously and pulled his clothes. The door opened, and a man with slick-back hair and a suit walked in. It was indeed different to have some money. He came in with a woman with a straight figure. This woman was the manager here, and seemed to be quite familiar with Jean Lei. Mr. Jean, I didn't expect you to come today. Do you want to send the wine you saved before? The woman followed Jean Lei and gave him enough face. Jean Lei nodded slightly. Sorry to trouble you, Sister Qin Yang. No problem. Qin Yang smiled and went to get the wine. Brother Jean, not bad. You are so familiar with the manager here. Shi Sudong flattered. It's okay. This is her shop. How about it? She has been chasing me for a long time. Jean Lei spoke with assurance. He had become the center of attention here. After Jean Lei finished speaking, he looked at Shen Shuangshuang and smiled. Shuangshuang, happy birthday. I haven't seen you in a year. How about it? Are you interested in working for my company? What made Wang Zhong feel strange was that Shen Shuangshuang frowned when she looked at Jean Lei. She didn't seem to welcome this person. No thanks. I have a job, Shen Shuangshuang said. What's wrong, Shuangshuang? Wang Zhong asked softly. I didn't call Jean Lei over. That guy liked to bully people in school. Shen Shuangshuang explained in a low voice. Maybe it was Shi Sudong who called him. This guy works in design, so Jean Lei Decoration Company needs him. Shuangshuang, Brother Jin's company has opened 3 more branches. You have a bright future if you go there. Why don't you go? Shi Sudong said with a smile. No need. Shen Shuangshuang was speechless. Okay. If you need me in the future, I'll help you at any time. Jean Lei glanced at Shen Shuangshuang. He didn't have any thoughts about Shen Shuangshuang. When he was in school, he pursued one of Shen Shuangshuang's best friends. He didn't expect that Shen Shuangshuang would catch him cheating on her, So he and Shen Shuangshuang's best friends failed. Since then, he liked to bully Shen Shuangshuang. They were all grown up, but he still wanted to step on Shen Shuangshuang whenever he saw her. The dishes were quickly served. At this time, Wang Zhong went to the toilet. Just as he came out, he heard Qin Yang talking to a waitress in the corridor. Little Qin, send Jean Lei's 2 bottles of wine over later. Sister Qin, Mr. Jean is interested in you. Isn't it appropriate for you to send him? The waitress asked curiously. That Jean Lei likes to touch people. If I send him, he will definitely let me drink a few glasses. If it wasn't for the fact that he often brings guests to eat, I would have already lost my temper. Qin Yang said disdainfully. So you send him. Just say that I'm serving other guests. Okay, Sister Qin. The waitress left. Qin Yang turned around and turned a corner. She was instantly stunned as she saw Wang Zhong at the corner. She knew that Wang Zhong and Jean Lei were at the same table. Didn't he hear everything she said just now? That you're here. Qin Yang smiled awkwardly. This woman was quite good-looking. She was the mature type. She rolled her big eyes and quickly pulled Wang Zhong. Little brother, you scared me. Just now you. I heard everything. Wang Zhong wanted to see this woman's reaction. He felt that it was quite interesting. Jean Lei bragged that Qin Yang pursued him, but in fact, Qin Yang didn't put him in her eyes. How about this, come to my office? Qin Yang secretly scolded herself for talking too much. She used to be very careful with her words. Why was it like this time? She could only blame herself for drinking a few glasses. She didn't know that Wang Zhong and Jean Lei were actually unrelated. She only thought that they were good friends. Later on, Wang Zhong would definitely tell Jean Lei. Jean Lei took care of a lot of business here. She didn't want to offend him. So, she wanted to pull Wang Zhong into her office, hoping to give him some benefits so that he would shut up. Miss Jean, what's the matter? Wang Zhong entered the office and looked around. I just drank a few glasses. Can you not say those things to Jean Lei? If you can, next time you bring someone over for a meal, it's free of charge. After saying this, Qin Yang's heart was bleeding. The restaurant business was very competitive now. Giving out a meal for free was really a loss. But if she didn't do this, why would he keep your secret? Wang Zhong smiled and said, You're quite courteous. However, I have other requests. How much do you want? The woman in front of him made Wang Zhong have an impulse. He was also a normal man. Since he was in prison, he had been living like a monk. He had wanted to do that for a long time. Although there was a Shen Shuangshuang at home, she was like a friend. He couldn't bear to hurt her. As long as it was an outsider, it was fine. Sir, please have some self-respect. Qin Yang's pretty face changed. This bastard actually said that. What did he take her for? Although she said that, Qin Yang thought in her heart, the rent here is coming soon. The rent is 250,000 yuan. But recently there was a car accident, and she lost a lot of money. She didn't have any money in her hands. 100,000 yuan? Looking at Qin Yang's evasive eyes, Wang Zhong knew what was going on. Please leave. Qin Yang snorted, but she didn't make a move. She even thought that it would be better if she added a little more. 200,000 yuan? Qin Yang was even more angry. Why are you still here? 300,000 yuan. If you don't want it, I'll leave immediately. This restaurant was only a medium-sized restaurant. Wang Zhong estimated that it was good enough to give her this much. Qin Yang was stunned, and hesitation flashed in his eyes. But at this time, Wang Zhong came over domineeringly. Don't. Her resistance became an itch. Successful transfer. 100,000 yuan. 20 minutes later, the crisp female voice of the cashier came out of Qin Yang's phone. Qin Yang's face was indescribably awkward. She felt like she was making a deal. Actually, she was making a deal. She glanced at the phone and was suddenly stunned. Because Wang Zhong's phone account showed that there were a lot of zeros, tens of millions of yuan. Qin Yang didn't expect that this unremarkable young man in front of her was actually so rich. She was a little regretful. She should have been more reserved just now. If things didn't go well, she could have asked for more money. But it was too late to say anything now. Qin Yang knew that after she acted like this, the other party would definitely lose interest in her. Wang Zhong sighed in his heart. This Jean Lei chased after her for so long but failed. He didn't expect it to be so easy to win her over. Patting Qin Yang's shoulder, Wang Zhong said, "Okay, we're even now. Go and wash up." Without leaving a trace, Wang Zhong left the place. "Where did you go? What took you so long?" Entering the private room, Shen Shuangshuang was a little drunk and asked. "Well, he left for 20 minutes. It seemed that Shen Shuangshuang had been forced to drink a lot." "Take a dump," Wang Zhong said. "Shuangshuang, a present for you." "Shuangshuang, happy birthday. Take a look at the present." Several friends handed over their presents one after another. The presents weren't very expensive. Some were ordinary bags, and some were ordinary earrings. Birthdays were sometimes like this for ordinary people. There was no need to puff oneself up at one's own cost. Jean Lei's present had already arrived. It was 2 bottles of good wine. Shi Sudong gave a red packet of 88 yuan. He was secretly proud. When he was in school, everyone gave 8 yuan. Now he gave 88 yuan. Shen Shuangshuang must be very happy. Thinking of this, he saw that Wang Zhong didn't take a present. He asked Wang Zhong, "Friend, where's your present?" Wang Zhong dug into his pocket and suddenly slapped his head. He was too excited in Qin Yang's office just now. At that time, he had dropped his car keys and forgot to pick it up. "I'll go and get it." Just as he got up, Shi Sudong said, "Don't tell me you didn't prepare it and want to go out to buy it?" These words didn't sound good. It seemed that Shi Sudong was really drunk. Shen Shuangshuang said, "Brother Wang, let's talk about it when we go back." "It's okay. I left it in the office." But at this time the door opened. Qin Yang came to Wang Zhong with a strange look. "Sir, you forgot your car keys." "Yes." Wang Zhong nodded. He didn't think much. He took the key and handed it to Shen Shuangshuang. "Here, this is a present for you. This car cost 260,000 yuan. "What you gave me a car?" Shen Shuangshuang was stunned. Qin Yang, who gave the key, had a strange look. She was sure that Shen Shuangshuang and Wang Zhong must have an affair. Otherwise, how could he be so generous and give her a car? For a moment, she couldn't wait to replace Shen Shuangshuang's position. In fact, she took the initiative to give the car keys. Wasn't she trying to get close to Wang Zhong? But when she saw that Wang Zhong had a female companion, she felt that her hope was slim. However, thinking that she had already done that with Wang Zhong, she gritted her teeth, picked up the wine glass and said to Wang Zhong, "Sir, I'll toast you." "Yes." Wang Zhong nodded and drank the wine. Jean Lei originally wanted to wait for Qin Yang to take the initiative to toast him, but he didn't expect him to drink with Wang Zhong first. Not only that, Qin Yang raised his glass and said, "Happy birthday to Miss Shen. Let's drink together." "That's it. She didn't want to drink with me?" Jean Lei's face was a little embarrassed. Chapter 554. After drinking, Qin Yang left without saying goodbye to Jean Lei. In Qin Yang's opinion, Wang Zhong might look for him again in the future. He must leave a good impression in front of him. At least, he must let him think that he was a reserved person. Why did he do that? It was simple. Wang Zhong's phone balance was more than 10 million. For such a rich man, being too proactive would make him look cheap. Then, he would look down on him. So he must be cold to others. Towards Wang Zhong, he must also keep a distance. She had just found out that this rich man was called Wang Zhong. Sitting in the office, Qin Yang was thinking about how to get close to Wang Zhong. At this time, a girl in a waitress uniform walked in. The girl was very delicate and pretty, but she was unusually thin. Ah. The thin girl came in and gestured in front of Qin Yang. Qin Yang sighed. The girl in front of her was brought from her hometown. Her parents died when she was young. She was raised by an old woman who picked up scraps. When she grew up, the old woman saw that she could not speak. Finally, she went to the hospital to check and found out that she was mute. She followed the old woman's surname Hee. It meant that the two of them depended on each other. However, because she was poor and mute, many people called her Mute Girl, or just called her Mute. The mute girl gestured anxiously. She took out her second-hand phone and typed a line of words. "Grandma is sick." Qin Yang frowned and asked, "How much does it cost?" The mute girl stretched out 2 fingers and opened her mouth. 2,000. Qin Yang was relieved. If it was only 2,000, he could get it from the mute girl's salary in advance. But the mute girl shook her head and said with all her strength, 20,000. What? 20,000? Qin Yang was a little unhappy. She really sympathized with the mute girl. They were all from the same village. She saw that the mute girl was so pitiful, so she let her work here. Her salary was 3,000 a month, which was the same as a normal person's salary. But to get an advance of 20,000, she was also a little helpless. Sister. The mute girl walked over and cried. She shook Qin Yang's arm and begged Qin Yang to lend her money. If she hadn't met Wang Zhong before, Qin Yang wouldn't have lent her money no matter what. This restaurant was her life's work. Now that the rent was due, it would be troublesome if she didn't have the money to pay the rent. But just now, because she was forced by Wang Zhong. That's right, until now, she was certain that she was raped. As for taking the initiative to take out the QR code to collect the money, well, he was also forced. No matter what, she had already received the money. The rent was 250,000 yuan, and she had received 300,000 yuan, so there was still an extra 50,000 yuan. She wanted to have dinner with the employees to celebrate, but since the mute girl was like this, she gritted her teeth and said, "Okay, I'll give you 20,000. Save it, understand?" Ah. The mute girl cried and nodded repeatedly. Her eyes were filled with gratitude. Wang Zhong and the others quickly finished their meal. Now, no one dared to look down on Wang Zhong. After all, there weren't many people who could give a car as a birthday gift. Even a few of Shen Shuangshuang's best friends secretly winked at Wang Zhong, hoping to get Wang Zhong's favor. When the time came, they would pretend to say that it was their birthday. Maybe Wang Zhong would also give them a car as a gift. To be honest, they were dreaming. It was drizzling outside. Shen Shuangshuang called for a taxi and waited at the intersection with Wang Zhong. At this time, Wang Zhong noticed a familiar figure coming out of the restaurant. The figure got on an old bicycle and rode in the rain. For a while, Wang Zhong couldn't remember who the figure was, but it was really familiar. "Brother Wang, the car is here." "Okay." Wang Zhong didn't think much and got into the car to go home. 3 days later, the procedures for the car were finally completed. After Shen Shuangshuang drove her car, she was so excited that she almost jumped up. She was so happy that she had her own car for the first time in her life. Although it wasn't a luxury car, at least she didn't have to ride an electric scooter in the rain anymore. She would also have a car in the future. What surprised her was that Wang Zhong's car was even more domineering. It was a luxury car that cost more than 5 million. This almost gave her a shock. But thinking about it, Wang Zhong was so rich. This car cost more than 5 million. It was not worth mentioning to him. After getting the car, Wang Zhong's mind was now on Sun Susu. He really wanted to find out if Sun Susu really had that scar on her waist. Although Sun Xiuxiu had made this big deal, which made her a lot more financially comfortable. Due to her lack of work experience, she had gone to discuss with clients several times, but she had returned empty-handed. "The sun is so strong today. The car outside is especially hot. My delicate skin is going to be tanned." Sun Susu stood outside the car and held a rag. She wanted to cry but had no tears. "I want a boss to hold my little hand and see through my stubbornness." Originally, she was chatting with a client, but she didn't expect that the client would go directly to Monica and order 2 cars at once. Got 2 cars at once. Both of them cost more than 200,000. Then just now Monica went out with the 2 of them. She didn't know where they went. After that, the boss came out and taught them a lesson. He said that they should learn from Monica and easily got 2 orders. Sun Xiuxiu actually understood how Monica managed to clinch the deal. It was all because she had accompanied them to the threesome. She felt that this path was getting more and more confusing. Then, because there was no business in the shop, the boss asked them to come out and clean the new cars. There were not many cars left. The main reason was that the car industry was not doing well now. The boss did not want to squeeze too much stock. She even heard from some old employees that the boss was not going to open the car shop anymore. Sun Susu pouted and cleaned the car. As she cleaned it, she thought about what to do next. She didn't have much work experience after graduating from university. She didn't graduate from a good university and couldn't find a good job at all. After thinking about it, she felt that she could only try her luck as an intern in some companies. Although an intern's salary was low, she could become a full-time employee in a few months. At that time, as long as she did well, it would be good. You're cleaning the car. Suddenly a voice came from behind. Mr. Wang. Sun Susu recognized Wang Zhong's voice. You're here. In her heart, Sun Susu didn't have a good impression of Wang Zhong. After all, Wang Zhong said that he wanted to look at her waist. But after all, he was the person who solved her urgent problem. So she had to be polite. Aren't you in charge of selling cars? Why are you cleaning cars? The sun was so hot outside. Sun Susu was sweating profusely. After wiping her sweat, Sun Susu explained. The sales of the shop aren't doing well. The boss might be in a bad mood, so he asked us to clean the cars. I see. I thought the business was doing well. How is it good? Other than Monica selling cars fast, the others are just SOSO. The boss is preparing to close the shop. It's closed. Wang Zhong suddenly had an idea. Mr. Wang, you're here because... After saying that, Sun Susu looked at Wang Zhong with a strange expression. She was a little wary. She felt that Wang Zhong had taken a fancy to her. Although Wang Zhong was young and rich, it seemed like a good thing to be pursued by him. But he was so rich. Why would he take a fancy to her? What if he was just fooling around? She wasn't a little girl who didn't know much about the world. In school, she had seen with her own eyes some beautiful girls who were fancied by some rich second-generation heirs. They got pregnant and dumped. Many of the girls had good grades, but they dropped out of school early. Some even gave up on themselves and went to bars to become salespeople or prostitutes. They didn't end up well. Because of this, Sun Susu was very wary of Wang Zhong's initiative. I'm here to understand some things. Originally, Wang Zhong wanted to say that he was here to see her. But after seeing Sun Susu's vigilant look, Wang Zhong decided to change his words. Understand what? When I came to buy a car the other day, I was quite interested in your 4S store. So I wanted to ask if your boss was interested in selling it. He really wants to sell it, but I advise you not to buy it. The business here isn't good. Sun Susu was also kind. She thought that no one's money came from nowhere. Wang Zhong's wasteful spending was a bit of a prodigal. Oh, you're concerned about me? Wang Zhong smiled faintly. Business is done by people. At least I'm not losing money now. This means that there's still hope for business to improve. In order to understand Sun Susu, spending a bit of money was nothing. After leaving, Wang Zhong found the boss of the 4S store. The boss was called He Jianda. He was a slightly plump middle-aged man. When he heard that Wang Zhong wanted to buy this place, he was immediately interested. This was because he knew that Wang Zhong had the ability. Didn't Wang Zhong buy 2 cars a few days ago? If he didn't have a net worth of tens of millions, he wouldn't have the ability to buy such a luxury car. Although he was rich, Wang Zhong didn't want to be played like a fool. He found Lu Jili's legal team and used 5 days to calculate the assets of this 4S store. In the end, he calculated that this place, excluding the new cars, was worth 15 million yuan after deducting the expenses of the staff. This sum of money included rent, renovation, landscaping, and other miscellaneous expenses. To be honest, this money was quite expensive. This was because from He Jinda's point of view, he didn't lose money. If he didn't lose money, then he was the seller, so he wasn't in a hurry. Wang Zhong didn't even think about it and agreed to buy it. The rest of the cars were also bought. There were a total of more than 60 new cars. After buying it, to be honest, Wang Zhong didn't know how to run this business. However, it didn't matter. The previous staff didn't change. Everyone was still doing their jobs. This made some of the people who were ready to jump ship feel relieved. They secretly thought that they wouldn't be fired. The most surprised person was Monica. The previous customer became her boss. The key was that she said those words to Wang Zhong. Monica, come to my office for a while. On Wang Zhong's first day of work, seeing that Monica was fine, Wang Zhong called her into his office. Sure enough, all men are the same. Seeing this scene, Sun Susu despised in her heart. Chapter 555. From Sun Susu's point of view, why did Wang Zhong ask Monica to go to his office for no reason? Wasn't it because of that? The previous boss was like this. He would ask Monica to go in from time to time, saying that it was an exchange of experience in selling cars. From her point of view, it was because of driving experience. At this time, Monica's thoughts were actually the same as Sun Susu's. 2 days ago, she came to buy a car and pretended to be something. Now it was not the same. Humph, but it was good. This boss called Wang Zhong was at least more handsome than the old man. It was not a loss for her to serve him. If I serve him well, it would be best if he gave me a raise. No. Monica, you are too useless. In the past, the old man had a wife and I had no choice but to play with him. But this young boss is obviously single. Such a capable young man. I can totally be the lady boss here. Monica's plan was very good. Unfortunately, after she went in, Wang Zhong only told her to work hard. If she did well, she would get a raise in the future. In addition, he asked about the advantages and disadvantages of working in this place to increase work efficiency and improve service quality. Since she had taken over this place, she had to work hard. This was Wang Zhong's idea. As for Monica's character, what a joke. She was selling cars for him. If every employee could be as dedicated as Monica, the boss would only be happy. Well, I have said what I wanted to say. You can leave now. Later, call Sun Susu to come over. Wang Zhong waved his hand. Monica wanted to say, that's it? She was a little disappointed. She thought she could be the lady boss. But Wang Zhong's behavior just now had shown that he was not interested in her. Instead, he seemed to have a soft spot for Sun Susu. It seems that I can't bully Sun Susu in the future. Otherwise, I am afraid I will not have a good ending. Monica was a smart person. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to do so well here. After she went out, she said to Sun Susu kindly, Susu, manager, what's the matter? Look at you, why are you calling me so formally? Just call me Monica. By the way, the boss wants you to go in. He has something to talk to you about. What is it? Sun Susu felt strange. Monica had only been in there for about 10 minutes. Could it be that Boss Wang was so fast? You'll know once you go in. It's definitely something good. Monica guessed. How could it not be a good thing to be chosen by the boss? Sun Susu entered the office skeptically. Wang Zhong crossed his legs and said, Susu, sit. Mr. Wang, what's the matter? Sun Susu was not used to the change in status. Xiu, I've seen your performance. It doesn't seem too good. Wang Zhong said indifferently. President Wang, I will try my best, Sun Susu quickly said. Is that so? Looking at Sun Susu's nervous expression, Wang Zhong felt funny. Initially, he wanted to give Sun Susu a raise or a promotion. But after thinking about it, he felt that it was too abrupt. Besides, it was not suitable. Everyone needed to be trained. Sun Susu's ability was not good now. If he asked her to do something that was beyond her ability, it would be counterproductive. So he decided to give Sun Susu some pressure. Logically speaking, you should have been fired long ago. But I've decided to give you one last chance. It's useless for us to keep guarding this shop. We have to take the initiative. President Wang, what do you want to do? Sun Susu was curious. It's very simple. Then, Wang Zhong started to explain. His plan was simple. That was to drive the car to some roads with a lot of traffic and do some promotions. Low down payment loans, 3 years of maintenance for the car, 30,000 repair coupons for the car. In short, he thought of a lot of promotion methods. Perhaps, if he did this, his profits would be lower. But it was better to earn less than nothing. Moreover, he had asked someone to calculate. Although the profits of the bicycle would be lower, the number of sales would increase, and he would make a lot of money. He wanted to let Sun Susu do it. It could be considered as training her business ability. I'll leave this sales plan to you. Immediately contact an advertising company. When the time comes, you can choose a suitable location for the promotion. I'll give you 7 days. How about it? Okay. Sun Susu gritted her teeth. She felt that the pressure was not small. Well, If you don't have any results by then, it means that you're not suitable for this line of work. You should find another way. Wang Zhong stared into Sun Susu's eyes and said, I know. Sun Susu felt helpless. By the way, can I see your waist? After saying that, Wang Zhong could not help but ask again. President Wang, although you're my boss, but don't be like this. I'm not that kind of person. Fine, it was a misunderstanding again. I'll go out first. Without waiting for Wang Zhong's reply, Sun Susu ran out as if she was escaping. Wang Zhong did not have time to call Sun Susu, because a system notification appeared in front of him. Ding! Successfully unlocked 2 newly reborn creatures. Creature 1, Actress Xiao Dai. Mission objective. I'm so beautiful, kind, cute and curvy. But why is life so miserable for me? My stepfather wants to molest me. My neighbor Lao Wang wants to touch me. The girls at school are jealous of me. And the boys pester me. It's so hard. I want to be strong, and not be bullied by anyone. Creature 2, Honest Man Lee Tuesday. Mission objective. I'm an honest man. My name is Lee Tuesday. I used to be a delivery man, an ordinary honest man. I didn't expect that a phone call would change my life. I inherited a huge inheritance, more than 100 million. I became a millionaire. But a rich life did not bring me happiness. The goddess who ignored me in the past took the initiative to approach me. My so-called good brothers also took the initiative to approach me. My biological father, who didn't want me since I was young, took the initiative to approach me. But I was too honest. It was only when they cheated me of all my money that I realized that they were after my money. In the end, because I didn't have money to go to the hospital, I died of illness. I regret it. I shouldn't have been so honest. I don't want to be an honest man. I want to be a scumbag. I want to be a big scumbag. I want to take revenge on those who look down on me. I want them to know that I'm not easy to bully. Damn, aren't these 2 quests a little too weird? Wang Zhong was speechless. There was no need to look at the first mission. She transmigrated and became a girl. She seemed to be a heartthrob. Unfortunately, although she came from a good family, her luck was not good. She was bullied by her stepfather, her neighbor Lao Wang, and the school's hooligans. Sigh, so pitiful. If it was possible, Wang Zhong really wanted to help her. But transmigrating and becoming a girl made him feel uncomfortable. The second mission was simple. The original owner was an honest man. Honest people were rare these days. Looking at the introduction, it seemed a little weird. He had already inherited 100 million. Just the interest alone would not be enough to spend it all. But it was all cheated. Wang Zhong wanted to play the second game. With his methods, not only would he not be cheated of this 100 million, he would also use this money to start a business. He might even become a millionaire. After closing the system, Wang Zhong prepared to take a break. Continuous games could easily cause mental stress. He wanted to release some of his energy and relax. Today, he relaxed a little on the body of the restaurant's lady boss, Qin Yang. He wanted to continue, but there was no one around him. Although Monica would come over with a hook of her finger, she was too dirty. Wang Zhong was also a person with principles. As for Sun Susu, he could not touch her. This girl's personality was the same as in the game. She was a person with principles. She would only touch her husband. So Wang Zhong did not want to force her. Shaking his head, Wang Zhong decided to endure it. Ring, ring, ring. While he was thinking, his phone rang. He looked at it. It was Shin Shuangshuang. After answering the phone, Shin Shuangshuang told him that Jean Lei was treating them to a meal at Qin Yang's restaurant. You are classmates. Why did you call me? Wang Zhong was puzzled. It's like this. This meal was treated by the lady boss Qin Yang. She said that she would treat Jean Lei, an old customer. I don't know why she invited us. Maybe it's because we were together last time? Wang Zhong was not convinced by Shin Shuangshuang's guess. He guessed that Qin Yang's purpose was to look for him. Originally, he did not plan to go because it was boring to eat with Shin Shuangshuang's classmates. But since there was a scumbag mission this time, he wanted to experience the feeling of being a scumbag in advance. So Wang Zhong nodded and agreed. At night, he took Shin Shuangshuang's car to the restaurant. His car was too luxurious. Wang Zhong did not want to be too high profile. Jean Lei was in a good mood today. Qin Yang, who he had been pursuing, actually took the initiative to call him and invite him to a meal. Although on the phone, the other party meant that those who had eaten with Shen Shuangshuang that day would come over for a meal together. It seemed that the other party was not specially inviting him, but inviting others. But this did not prevent him from showing off in front of his friends. People were vain. Everyone gathered again after a long time. This time, everyone was polite to Wang Zhong. People were like this. The stronger you were, the more respect you would have. Now even Jean Lei was polite to Wang Zhong, not to mention Shi Sudong, who kept calling him Brother Wang. Everyone is here. Is today's dish to your taste? Halfway through the meal, Qin Yang came in. As soon as she came in, the eyes of all the boys present lit up. She was too beautiful, right? Today, Qin Yang was wearing a strapless skirt. The skirt was not high, but it was just a little above the knee. It was not immoral, but it was also suggestive. She was really dressed very well. The dishes are very good, very good. Seeing that Qin Yang was so good-looking, Jean Lei was suddenly excited. Qin Yang came in at this time. It must be because of him. But what made him frown was that Qin Yang did not look at him at all. Instead, her eyes looked at Wang Zhong from time to time. What made him want to vomit blood was that Wang Zhong did not look at Qin Yang. After eating for a while, Wang Zhong got up and went to the bathroom. At this time, Qin Yang also got up and said that she was going to prepare a few more dishes. When they just went out, Wang Zhong said softly, "Go to your office. I want to talk to you about something." "What's the matter?" Qin Yang asked knowingly. She knew that if she wanted a man to be interested in her at all times, she could not be very proactive. Wang Zhong said lightly, "You asked us to come over for dinner tonight. Didn't you want to look for me?" "What are you talking about?" Qin Yang's face turned red. She snorted and said, "You forced me to do what I did that day." Chapter 556. Looking at Qin Yang's flushed face, people who didn't know the situation would think that it was real. "All right then. Let's go to your office and have a chat, okay?" Since Qin Yang liked to act, Wang Zhong decided to let her do as she wished. Qin Yang nodded. "Okay. We're just going to have a chat." "Okay. What a joke. Once you go in, you won't have the final say," Wang Zhong thought in his heart. After entering the office, Qin Yang sensibly closed the door and locked it. However, he still said coldly, "Say it. What do you want to say?" "I'll tell you. Don't even think about doing anything to me. People like you can forget about trying to do anything to me." Wang Zhong was speechless. It was a waste of talent for this woman not to be an actress. Then, Wang Zhong grabbed her. Another 20 minutes later, Qin Yang was waiting for Wang Zhong to transfer the money. She didn't expect Wang Zhong to leave. This was different from what she had imagined. "Wait." Qin Yang stood in front of Wang Zhong. "What's wrong? How dare you treat me like that?" You. Qin Yang wanted to ask if Wang Zhong had forgotten something, but she couldn't say it. "Oh, look at me. I forgot. Take out your phone." "Humph. How dare you treat me like that again? You bastard. You said that you were just going to have a chat." Qin Yang was still acting cool. Wang Zhong didn't want to bother with her. What a scumbag. Money earned. Successful transfer of 300 yuan. Qin Yang was stunned. Why was it 300 renminbi? She wanted to ask, but Wang Zhong had already opened the door and left. She hadn't lifted her skirt yet, so she couldn't chase after him. Looking at the pitiful 300 renminbi on her phone, Qin Yang felt cheated. What does he think I am? This scumbag. He lied to me. After leaving the room, Wang Zhong felt refreshed. The taste of being a scumbag was pretty good. At this moment, Qin Yang was probably about to faint from anger. "Big brother Wang, why did you take so long?" After drinking a few mouthfuls of red wine, Shen Shuangshuang became curious. She noticed that there was a smell on Wang Zhong's body. It was the smell of Qin Yang's perfume. "My main account," Wang Zhong still answered. Shen Shuangshuang suddenly lost her appetite and felt that she shouldn't have asked. After a while, Qin Yang came back with a bad expression. "Miss Qin, where have you been?" Jean Lei stood up and asked with concern. He had no idea what his goddess had just experienced. He went to entertain the other guests. Qin Yang waved her hand and didn't even look at Jean Lei. Then, she took a deep breath and told herself to calm down. She had to calm down now. This time, she did not agree on the price before entering the office. This was her fault. Yes, it was like this. But if Wang Zhong thought that she would be so easy to talk to, then he was gravely mistaken. Miss Qin, thank you for treating us to dinner. Shen Shuangshuang stood up politely. Wang Zhong smiled and raised his glass. Miss Qin is too polite. We will come here often in the future. Listening to Wang Zhong's words, he felt that something was strange. Qin Yang didn't look at Wang Zhong and raised her glass to the others. Everyone, let's drink. After more than half an hour, the meal was almost finished. Everyone left one after another. Wang Zhong and Shen Shuangshuang had just walked to the door when Qin Yang chased after them and shouted, Mr. Wang, you forgot something. Forgot something? I don't remember forgetting. Wang Zhong turned around and said. Qin Yang's face turned pale. Come and take a look. Okay then. Wang Zhong calmly walked over and walked to the staircase with Qin Yang. Why did you give me 300 yuan? What do you think I am? Qin Yang said angrily. Wang Zhong touched his nose and said, No, if you don't want it, you can transfer it to me. Do you believe that I will call the police? Okay, you can call the police. Anyway, you have surveillance cameras here. The police will see that you brought me in. I have already transferred the money to you. 300 yuan. Just treat it as the service fee. We will both go in anyway. I am not afraid. I am just worried about you. TSK. You are a virgin, right? You don't have a boyfriend or a husband. Your reputation will be ruined. These words were simply too much for Qin Yang to handle. Scumbag. After a while Qin Yang said angrily. But she could only scold him. She couldn't do anything to change anything. Okay, I know you want 300,000 yuan. But think about it. Last time, you had plum blossoms. Now they are gone. So this is the only price. Be *starred scumbag. You will die a horrible death. Qin Yang shouted angrily. Wang Zhong laughed and turned to leave. Brother Wang, why did Miss Qin look for you? Shen Shuangshuang asked curiously when they got into the car. Nothing. She said that you are welcome to come again. I see. Miss Qin is so nice. Shen Shuangshuang smiled. Let's go. When the car started and turned the corner, Wang Zhong suddenly noticed that there was a waitress busy in the restaurant. He suddenly frowned. From this position, he could only see the side of the waitress's face. It seemed very familiar. Brother Wang, do you have something on your mind? Shen Shuangshuang felt strange. Wang Zhong had been absent-minded since he got into the car. Nothing. You must be thinking about the car market. Recently, the company is considering purchasing a batch of cars. I will help you in the company, Shen Shuangshuang said sensibly. Okay, thank you. How is your work? It is okay. It is just some administrative work. It is quite easy, but the salary is a little low. Shen Shuangshuang said helplessly. Really? If you are not satisfied, you can work in my car market, Wang Zhong said casually. His mind was still thinking about the figure in the restaurant. This figure was very familiar. It was the figure of the mute girl. Unfortunately, the car drove out and the figure went in. He did not see it again. Is it the mute girl? Wang Zhong remembered the way the mute girl spoke in the game. Abba abba. The next day, Wang Zhong went to the restaurant. Unfortunately, he did not see the mute girl again. As the 4S store was busy, Wang Zhong went back first. Sun Su found the boss of an advertising company and planned a promotion. First they designed a billboard. Then they looked for a promotion location. The location was at the entrance of a supermarket. The other party provided the location. Sun Su paid 1,000 yuan a day to rent the place. She was prepared to rent it for half a month. 5 days later, the promotion was very effective. Sun Su could sell 2 to 3 cars every day. One day she sold 6 cars. Sun Su was so happy that she could not eat. Seeing Sun Su so happy, Wang Zhong was also happy for her. For this he prepared a seaside trip. He thought about it. It was impossible to force Sun Su to show her small waist. Then, everyone would go to the seaside. When they reached the seaside, everyone put on their cute swimsuits. He did not believe that he could not see it. In the office, Wang Zhong showed a gratified smile. Dong dong dong. Someone knocked on the door. Wang Zhong shouted, "Come in." "Boss." It was Monica who came in. She was very unhappy these few days. She used to be the gold medal salesperson. Who could compete with her? But these days, Sun Susu's sales had surpassed hers. She was very smart. She could tell that Wang Zhong did this specially to take care of Sun Susu. The other employees could not see it. When Sun Susu received this promotion task, she thought it was a hard job. She was the only one who could see it. Wang Zhong deliberately provided Sun Susu with an opportunity. "Monica, what's the matter?" Wang Zhong tidied up the documents on the table. He did not even raise his head. "Mr. Wang, it's like this. There is not much business in the store these days. I want to volunteer to help with the promotion." "Oh, is that so?" "Yes, I also want to sell more cars." "Don't worry, Mr. Wang. I will work hard." After that, Monica flipped her hair. She was confident. She was afraid that Wang Zhong would not agree. So Monica said, "Moreover, I heard that there is not enough manpower there. These days, even the boss of the advertising company often comes to support. I heard that he is Sun Susu's old classmate." "Oh, classmate?" Wang Zhong still did not raise his head. But he heard the flirtatious tone in Monica's voice. This made him vigilant. "Yeah, and Susu admires him a lot. I chatted with Susu when we were having dinner. She said that her old classmate is really amazing. He was a straight-A student in school and started from scratch. Now his advertising company is doing really well." Monica knew that Wang Zhong was interested in Sun Susu. She knew that he would take some measures. There were only two methods he could use. First, he could summon Sun Susu back and stop her from communicating with her old classmate. Second, he could send her over to find out more details. Either way, it would be beneficial to Monica. "Well, it seems that Sun Susu is interested in that man." Wang Zhong said, "It's not that she is interested in him. She just admires him. You know, Mr. Wang, women like capable men. Seems like you know me well." How could Wang Zhong not understand Monica's thoughts? She told him all this to say, "I know you are interested in Sun Susu. Send me over. I can help you keep a good eye on Sun Susu." Dealing with smart people was sometimes so worry-free. "No, it's our responsibility to share the boss's worries." "Well, you are a smart person. I will give you a bonus of 5,000 yuan this month." Sometimes, the boss could not be too stingy when the employee was so sensible. Otherwise, it would be disappointing. "Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss." To a salaried worker like Monica, this 5,000 yuan bonus was considered good. From today onwards, you will work in the sales department. Alright, the sales this time is very effective. After the sales ends, all the employees will go to the beach on Saturday and Sunday. Really? Monica was so happy that her heart was about to jump out of her chest. She ran out immediately and announced this exciting news. 3 minutes later, the employees outside all jumped up happily. Chapter 557. This time, the sales of the cars were good. Moreover, Wang Zhong launched a buy-once maintenance, get-one free maintenance event. In the past, he had thought that many people complained that 4S stores were expensive because everyone used the same materials. Why should 4S stores be expensive? Therefore, they went to ordinary car shops outside for maintenance, causing 4S stores' business to not be very good. Why didn't 4S stores make it cheaper? Many people said that 4S stores cost a lot, so the prices were expensive. In Wang Zhong's opinion, this was not true. Because there was a lot of volume, there was still a profit. Since the prices were so expensive, it could only be said that 4S stores wanted to make more money. Therefore, this time, Wang Zhong launched a buy-once maintenance, get-one free maintenance event. However, each customer had to buy at least 3 maintenance sessions. In other words, if they spent 3 maintenance sessions, they could get 6 maintenance sessions. Once the event was launched, there was indeed a lot of business. After all, most people still recognize 4S store services. If the prices were the same, the shops outside would definitely not be able to compete with 4S stores. Finally, it was the weekend. Wang Zhong booked 3 buses and brought the employees to the beach. Hi, you're all water. After arriving at the beach and giving tickets, the employees shouted excitedly. Everyone, go to the changing room and change your clothes. After changing, the men will bring the barbecue grill. The women can play as you wish. Wang Zhong shouted. Long live the boss. The boss is so nice. I love the boss. After Wang Zhong came out of the changing room, many people had already set up the barbecue grill and started barbecuing. A group of women rushed to the beach under Monica's leadership, attracting the attention of many tourists. This was a beautiful scene. However, what made him frown was that Sun Susu was not there. In fact, Wang Zhong was also looking forward to seeing if Sun Susu, who looked exactly the same as the game, was the same person. Appearance and personality were already very similar. Now he only needed to see the waist to understand clearly. Sun Susu was not in the group of women. At this time, he finally saw Sun Susu at the entrance, but beside him was a lean man in beach pants. The two of them seemed to be chatting happily, which made Wang Zhong frown. It seemed that this was the advertising company boss that Sun Susu had recently met, which was also her old classmate. Xiao, who is this? Wang Zhong walked over and asked. Mr. Wang, this is my classmate Tan Jinxing. He is also the boss of the advertising company we are working with this time. Sun Susu explained and introduced Wang Zhong to Tan Jinxing. Then she said, Tan Jinxing knows that we are here to play this time, so he also came. Tan Jinxing smiled and greeted Wang Zhong. Hello, President Wang. I've heard Xiao talk about you several times. She said that her boss is a young and promising man. Now I see that you are really young. Just eso, Wang Zhong said lightly. I've also heard a lot of people talk about you. You are already a boss at such a young age. Amazing. You're too polite. Please take care of me in the future. I'm just a car seller. How can I take care of you? This guy seemed to have the intention of getting closer to Sun Susu. Take care of my ass. Although Wang Zhong had the ability to kill the opponent in one move, he was not a pervert. In a situation where his life was not threatened, Wang Zhong did not want to kill people for no reason. That was too vulgar. President Su, you are too polite. Although we are in two different industries, there is still hope for cooperation. No matter how bad it is the same to be friends, right? Tan Jinxing was very good at talking. In his opinion, he was talented. His brain was unique. Otherwise, he would not have become the boss of an advertising company at such a young age. The reason why he was able to chat with Wang Zhong so politely was purely due to Wang Zhong's high status. He believed that a big boss like Wang Zhong would definitely take a fancy to talents. And he was that kind of talent. Wang Zhong also saw Tan Jinxing's confidence. He wanted to ask, who gave you such confidence? Let's not talk about it. Let's go and play. Wang Zhong glanced at Sun Susu. He was speechless. This woman was actually wearing a one-piece swimming suit. Are you joking? Why are you dressed so conservatively? But thinking back, it seemed that Sun Susu had always been so conservative. It was only when Sun Susu moved by herself that she was more open. Tan Jinxing went down to swim. Sun Susu walked over and said, President Wang, I found their company and found out that it was opened by my classmate. I didn't get any commission. Wang Zhong nodded and said, I didn't say anything. Why are you so anxious? I'm afraid that you will think too much. Okay, as long as the work is done well, you don't have to worry. But looking at Tan Jinxing, it seems that he is interested in you. Wang Zhong said with a smile that was not a smile. No, he is just an old classmate. Sun Susu did not think too much and continued. Besides, Tan Jinxing is such an excellent person. Why would he be interested in me? He is excellent. Wang Zhong was surprised. He did not know how Sun Susu came to this conclusion. Yeah, he's really outstanding. When he was in school, he always got scholarships. He's one of the top students. Now he's opened an advertising company at such a young age. The business is doing well. He's much more capable than us. You are you. Don't add the word us. Sun Susu was speechless. She thought that Wang Zhong wanted to fight for her. So this is what it means to be excellent. Wang Zhong sighed. It seemed that if Tan Jinxing wanted to pursue Sun Susu, It would be very easy. After all, Sun Susu worshipped Tangenxing. She thought that Tangenxing was awesome and was a good man. Women like this kind of thing. However, Wang Zhong was very curious. Would Tangenxing be able to resist Monica's allure? After the barbecue was done, the group of people who were playing in the sea came ashore. Wang Zhong wanted Monica to seduce Tangenxing to see Tangenxing's bottom line. He did not expect that Monica was already sitting with Tangenxing. This woman's action was too fast. Hee Zhenxing, you are so funny. I am dying of laughter. He didn't know what Monica and Tangenxing were talking about, but they were laughing so hard. Tangenxing could not help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. He felt that he was right to come today. He was indeed excellent. He was a handsome man and a talent. His original target was Sun Susu. When he was in school, Sun Susu was an ugly duckling and came from a village. She was very ordinary. However, a few days ago, he saw that Sun Susu was quite good. She was also in charge of their car market's advertising business. Hence, he decided to get close to Sun Susu. He could see that Sun Susu worshipped him. This was normal. He was the top student in school. It was normal to be worshipped. Today, he did not expect Sun Susu's manager, Monica, to take the initiative to approach him. When he thought of Monica's good figure, he felt a burning sensation in his heart. Hence, at this moment, he immediately threw Sun Susu to the back of his mind. What a joke! Monica's position was high, and she was more enthusiastic than Sun Susu. Only a fool would let Monica go. Hence, the two of them chatted happily. Sun Susu was drinking beer at the side. She was not very comfortable. Why was her Prince Charming chatting so happily with Monica? Tangenxing had been getting close to her these few days. Sun Susu felt like she was in school. However, in the blink of an eye, the man was in Monica's arms. Could it be that all men like Monica? This is 1983 Emosi Thievery. It's red wine from Grava Manor. Cheers. Wang Zhong took the initiative to pour red wine for Sun Susu. Since Sun Susu was dressed so conservatively, he could only get her drunk. Then, he would see if she was the Sun Susu. Seeing her Prince Charming drinking with someone else, Sun Susu felt very uncomfortable. Hence, she made up her mind and drank too. Soon, most of the employees were drunk. Sun Susu wanted to drink less. However, when she saw Monica and Tangenxing leave together, her heart turned cold. Gulp gulp, Sun Susu drank directly. However, she was not stupid. Before drinking, she told her female companion to look after her. However, the female companion was also Wang Zhong's employee. Wang Zhong just ordered, "Xiaohong, clean up here. I'll help Susu to get her clothes." It was just a simple sentence, and he sent her away. It was too easy. Just as he reached the door of the changing room, Monica came over unexpectedly. President Wang. Monica had a faint smile on her face. She seemed to be proud that she could see through Wang Zhong's thoughts. "You and Tangenxing are quite fast," Wang Zhong teased. "No, I left him there and left. The waiters can testify. Monica was a very pure person. She only loved money. Maybe Tangenxing was a talent in the eyes of others. However, in her eyes, he was not worth as much as 5,000 yuan. Therefore, she would not do a losing deal with Tangenxing. She left him in the room and left." "Well, why did you do that?" Wang Zhong stared at Monica and asked. "I don't like this guy. He always stared at Sun Susu. Sun Susu is young. I was worried that she was inexperienced. So, I sacrificed myself to let her see what kind of person Tangenxing is." Monica was very smart. She knew that if she took the initiative to say that she did it for Wang Zhong would think that she was scheming. Therefore, she took a roundabout way to get Wang Zhong's favor. "Well, you did well. Go and get Susu's clothes." "Yes, boss." The hotel by the sea was just a few steps away. When they entered the hotel, the security guards and the front desk did not stop them. Today, Wang Zhong had booked a real room on the first floor. They were already used to seeing such a big boss helping his own employee into the room. The front desk even thought that it would be great if they were the drunk one. After entering the room, the drunk Sun Susu fell directly on the bed. "Don't care about me. Drink, continue drinking." At this time, Sun Susu was still shouting to drink. "Stop arguing. You're drunk." Wang Zhong touched his chin and looked at the beauty, who did not know how to resist at all. In the end, Wang Zhong did not do anything. He was not a villain. He would not take advantage of others. At this moment, he was just looking at her waist to see if there was that mark. After looking, Wang Zhong's eyes narrowed. Chapter 558. Wang Zhong didn't do anything. He called the front desk. Sun Susu was drunk and needed someone to take care of her. After tidying up Sun Susu's clothes, Wang Zhong tried on her measurements. Her measurements were exactly the same as his wife's. After decades of sharing the same bed, Wang Zhong was very familiar with her measurements. They weren't big in the early stages, but they were scary in the later stages. It was still in the early stages. Knock, knock, knock. The front desk knocked on his door. Wang Zhong opened the door and gave the female front desk a tip of 500 yuan. My employee drank too much. Take care of her. After receiving the 500 yuan tip, the front desk was very excited. She nodded repeatedly. Thank you, boss. Don't worry. I will take good care of her. Back in his room, Wang Zhong lay on his bed. Awesome, too awesome. The moment he saw Sun Susu's waist, he was dazed. This Sun Susu was really his wife in the game. Not only her personality and appearance, but even her waist was exactly the same. That scar was really the same. Why would a person in the game appear in real life? Wang Zhong wasn't too sure and couldn't understand. He shook his head and decided not to think about it. It had been many days since the quest had appeared. Wang Zhong reckoned that he would be entering the game in a few days. He decided to play the scumbag game this time. Firstly, he didn't want to transmigrate and become a woman. Secondly, he could inherit 100 million yuan. In terms of the mission, it was much easier for a rich man to be a scumbag. After all, wasn't there a saying? If you didn't have money, you weren't qualified to be a scumbag. Because those who didn't have money were scumbags. What was a scumbag? It was a person that girls both loved and hated. There was once a girl who described a scumbag like this. Scumbags were like snacks. I know it's not healthy to eat them, but they were delicious. Yes, very insightful. Therefore, if he wanted to be a successful scumbag that people both loved and hated, he needed money. Wang Zhong decided to start with this 100 million yuan. He needed to invest and earn money. He wanted to become a tycoon. Of course, there were many ways to earn money, such as being a celebrity like before. However, this conflicted with the mission. As a celebrity, he needed to live under the spotlight. He didn't want to become a scumbag and be watched by people every day. Because once he was watched, he wouldn't be able to be a scumbag even if he wanted to. How dare this Monica trick me? Early in the morning, Tan Jinxing woke up and looked at the empty bed beside him. He was so angry that he gnashed his teeth. In a daze, he recalled that Monica had left him here last night. Damn it, if you don't want to sleep with me, you should have said so earlier. Originally, when he saw Monica taking the initiative to touch his thigh secretly while drinking, he thought that this was a hint. He didn't expect that it was all for nothing. Tan Jinxing was very regretful. If he had known that Monica would run away, he would have focused on getting Sun Susu. His original plan was to take down Sun Susu yesterday. After all, wouldn't something pleasant happen if everyone drank too much on a trip? What a pity, what a pity. However, Tan Jinxing didn't think too much about it. He still thought that Monica was a decent girl. Before they really got together, Monica would keep her chastity. What should I do next? Tan Jinxing pondered. He thought that he was a proud son of God. Since he was young, the whole class and even the teachers and students in the school revolved around him. At that time, in order to get a scholarship, he even took down the principal's daughter, who was in her 30s. Why would he worry about not being able to get Sun Susu and Monica? After thinking about it, Tan Jinxing couldn't help but laugh. I'm so silly. Only a child would make a choice. I, Tan Jinxing, want both. Dizzy, so dizzy. At the same time, Sun Susu woke up from his sleep. Sun Susu rubbed his forehead tiredly. He suddenly remembered. Good wine had this function. No matter how much one drank, one would only feel dizzy but not have a headache. Only fake wine would cause a splitting headache. Sun Susu remembered how Wang Zhong sent her into the house last night. At that time, She was very drunk and Wang Zhong was lying beside her. It's over, it's over. Sun Susu couldn't remember what happened after that, because she fell asleep. However, that didn't mean that she didn't know what happened, because the clothes on her body had turned into pajamas. Wang Zhong, I have already called the police. You will be severely punished by the law. Wang Zhong heard Sun Susu's angry roar as soon as he picked up the phone. Hey Susu, are you okay? Wang Zhong didn't want to talk. He didn't do anything. You took advantage of me. Do you think I don't know? Wang Zhong, you bastard %%. Yin %. Before he could finish, the other side of the phone became noisy. Sun Susu seemed to be crying. I am still your boss. Can you not be like this? Wang Zhong said helplessly. How can I not be like this? You said you didn't take advantage of me? My virginity has been ruined by you. Sob sob sob. Anyway, I will call the police immediately. She hung up the phone after saying that. Wang Zhong was helpless. He could only call the receptionist and ask her to explain. After leaving the house, Wang Zhong went directly to Sun Susu's room. At this moment, the receptionist just came up from downstairs and explained to Sun Susu. Miss, don't be agitated. Mr. Wang is a very good person. He sent you in last night and then asked me to take care of you. I was the one who changed your clothes. Is it true? Sun Susu felt that it was unbelievable. Sun Susu was quite confident in her charm. Although she was not as good as Monica, she had the charm of a girl next door. When she was unguarded, how could Wang Zhong not have any reaction? Sun Susu did not believe it. She felt that Wang Zhong must have done something perverted. But that guy did not have the guts to do it, and ran away at the last minute. Yes, that must be it. Sun Susu was very good at filling in the blanks in her mind. At this moment, the receptionist was actually quite speechless. She thought that the man was so good. He was young and rich. She could not wait to be with him. This girl, on the other hand, acted as if she had been taken advantage of. How was it, Susu? Did I explain it clearly enough? Wang Zhong walked out of the door and nodded to the receptionist, indicating that she could leave. Yes, I know. Sun Susu blushed. She knew that she had misunderstood Wang Zhong. She said, thank you. Don't mention it. Wang Zhong waved his hand, appearing to be indifferent. Then change your clothes. Let's go back. Downstairs, when everyone was having breakfast in the hotel's back hall, Tan Jinxing came to Sun Susu's room. It was not that he did not want to look for Monica. In his opinion, Monica was very proactive yesterday. There was still hope for him to get Monica. Unfortunately, he found that Monica had not woken up yet. So, he prepared to start with Sun Susu. Morning, Susu. I was really drunk yesterday. After sending Monica to her room, I went back to sleep. I was really tired. It not only showed that he and Monica were innocent, but also showed that he was a gentleman. How are you? Tan Jinxing asked. I'm fine. Sun Susu said out of politeness. Right, today is Sunday. What are you going to do when you go back? What do you mean? Do you have any activities? No. Just in time. I have 2 movie tickets. Let's watch a movie together. If it was before, Sun Susu might have agreed. But yesterday, she saw Tan Jinxing and Monica's little actions. So she shook her head and said, I'm tired. I need to go back and rest. You. Okay then. Tan Jinxing guessed that Sun Susu noticed his and Monica's little actions yesterday. So it made her vigilant. This made him a little annoyed. Otherwise, it would be easy for him to get her. After all, he was so outstanding and charming. Which girl would not like him? What, you suddenly hate Tan Jinxing? Who was the one who said yesterday that Tan Jinxing was a talent, an awesome talent? After leaving, Wang Zhong walked beside Sun Susu and smiled. You saw it. Sun Susu said. Yeah, I saw him leave because he was bored. If I were to guess, he asked you out? Yeah, but I didn't agree. Why? I'm not stupid. Sun Susu was speechless. Okay. Speaking of which, you're still young. Don't be fooled by those sanctimonious people in the future. Otherwise, if my store suffers any losses, I won't forgive you. Okay, don't worry, boss. I'll work hard. Now, Sun Susu had a good impression of Wang Zhong. At least last night, when she was drunk, Wang Zhong was still calm. This showed that he was a righteous person. Ring ring ring. At this time a phone call came. Wang Zhong looked at the unknown number, but he still picked it up. Is this CEO Wang? Hello, I'm He Jianda. I'm sorry for calling you. He Jianda was the previous owner of the 4S store. He originally wanted to sell this place. He was worried about how to sell it at a good price. He did not expect to meet Wang Zhong. So he sold it immediately without any hesitation. Wang Zhong was puzzled. The transaction between them was completed. Why would he call him? Oh, Mr. He. What's the matter? It's like this. This 4S store of mine, Sai. It belongs to my father. When he found out that I sold this place, he was so angry that he fell ill. In order to not make him angry, I want to buy back that store. But don't worry, I'll increase the price. I'll increase the price by 5 million. I'm really sorry, Mr. Wang. My father worked so hard to raise me. I can't live without him. He's already 80 years old. Boo-hoo. F***ck. A grown man is about to cry. But his conditions were not bad. It's only been a month, and he's willing to increase the price by 5 million. TSK. This money came too fast. Oh, I know. Consider it. Wang Zhong wanted to let Sun Susu make this decision. He wanted to test her ability. Okay, CEO Wang. I'll wait for your call. I'm really sorry. I'm also doing this to show my filial piety. Okay, I know. After hanging up the phone, Wang Zhong looked at Sun Susu and told her what He Jianda said. Then he asked, if you were me, would you accept the 5 million or reject it? Chapter 559. Of course I refuse. To Wang Zhong's surprise, Sun Susu directly refused. Oh, tell me about it. Wang Zhong said with interest. Because He Jianda is not the kind of person who is filial. Sun Susu analyzed logically. I used to work for him. I don't know him the best, but I definitely know what kind of person he is. As employees, we all know that his father was sent to the sanatorium by him a long time ago. He doesn't even visit his father once in a few years. How can such a person pay more to redeem this place for his father? It doesn't make sense. Then why did he do it? It must be profit. Either he felt that the car market's business would be better if he sold it at a loss, or there are other benefits in that place. I think the latter is more likely, because no matter how good the car market's business is, it won't earn him 5 million in a short time. Demolition? After thinking about it, Sun Susu suddenly blurted out. Because in her opinion, only demolition could make so much money in a short time. Oh, Wang Zhong raised his eyebrows. To be honest, he didn't think of this, but Sun Susu thought of it. Sure enough, Sun Susu had business talent. This was proven in ancient times, but what Sun Susu lacked now was practice. Yes, it must be demolition. When I first came here, I went to eat breakfast and heard a few old people in the residential building in front of the 4S shop complaining. They said that they wanted to demolish it, but they didn't demolish it. At that time, there should be some news. Well, that's probably it. Wang Zhong nodded silently. Otherwise, he really couldn't understand why He Jianda suddenly went back on selling the car business for no reason. Well, then I won't sell it. Wang Zhong made up his mind. Demolition was an opportunity that could only be encountered. He occupied such a large area. When the time came, he would be able to compensate a lot of money. At this time, He Jianda was also anxious and sighing. Originally, he was very happy after selling the car business because he was very satisfied with the transaction price. For this reason, he invited some good friends to dinner and talked about this matter in passing. Unexpectedly, a well-informed friend told him that his house was about to be demolished. The higher-ups were now suppressing the news of this matter to prevent people from temporarily fabricating houses. Now, the higher-ups had already formed a secret team to inspect the area of the residence. The approximate compensation price had also been determined. If his residence was successfully demolished, it was estimated that the compensation would be in the hundreds of millions. When he heard the news, He Jianda's heart sank. Back then, he was still feeling smug over the fact that he had obtained a transaction price of more than 10 million yuan. Who would have thought that the other party would be able to obtain hundreds of millions of yuan, just like that? That was the reason for the phone call. After hanging up, he was still worried. After thinking for a long time, he called Monica and asked her out. The next day, not long after Wang Zhong returned to the company, Monica knocked on the door and entered. CEO Wang, I have something to report. Oh, what is it? Wang Zhong looked at Monica and asked. It's like this. Monica organized her words and recalled what He Jianda had said when he asked her out in the morning. This place was about to be demolished, and it was very likely that they would have to pay hundreds of millions of yuan in compensation. He Jianda had said that as long as she could help him triumph and make Wang Zhong return this place to him, she would be able to get 1,000,000 yuan as a reward. To be honest, Monica was tempted. However, after thinking about it again and again, she felt that it was very, very difficult. Wang Zhong was the only man she could not see through. It could be said that he did not buy this place to make money at all. She could tell that he had other motives. It was impossible for such a person to sell this place for 5,000,000 yuan. On the contrary, if she stood on He Jianda's side, she might not be able to get any benefits and might even lose her job. After thinking about it, she decided to report the truth and get some substantial benefits first. Thus, Monica told him that this place was about to be demolished. Looks like it's true. Wang Zhong nodded slightly. I guessed it when he called me. He said that it was for his old father. It was just a bluff. Monica heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, she stood on the right side. Because Wang Zhong had already guessed that this place was going to be demolished, it was useless even if she talked until she broke. However, the information you provided is very good. Wang Zhong casually took out 20,000 yuan from the drawer and threw it on the table. Go back and find out from him when this place is going to be demolished and how much it will cost. Okay. Monica nodded repeatedly. She was excited by Wang Zhong's generosity. When she was with He Jianda in the past, that old man was not so generous. Oh right. Wang Zhong stopped Monica and asked, I've been quite interested in the stock market recently. Do you know any stock market experts? Stock market experts. There are quite a lot of stock market experts on the news recently. Got it. Seeing that Monica did not know much, Wang Zhong waved his hand, indicating that she could leave. Now he wanted to learn how to trade stocks. It was very simple. The most important thing for this scumbag mission was to have money. Doing business in modern society was too intense and troublesome. He could not earn fast money. Therefore, Wang Zhong wondered if he should play the stock market when the time came. He randomly watched some stock market expert videos on TV. Wang Zhong did not understand at all. At this moment, he thought of some people. When he was an assassin, those big organizations had deposited their money in many places. Among them, there were some financial experts who helped the big organizations earn money. They deposited their money in the stock market, various funds, and national debt. In the blink of an eye, they made a lot of money. Of course, not all financial experts could play it well. However, in general, there were not many losses, because those who had lost a lot of money were already buried. Wang Zhong disguised himself slightly and drove his luxury car to the assassin hotel. Just like before, some famous assassins who had killed countless people were chatting in the hotel. Many of them might be enemies, but after coming to the hotel, they all gathered together to chat. It was not because they had let go of their hatred, but because of the rules of the assassin hotel. Here, fighting, killing, murdering, and destroying were strictly prohibited. Once the rules were violated, the assassin would be hunted down by the entire industry. Wang Zhong walked in and attracted a lot of attention. However, they quickly turned their heads away because Wang Zhong was dressed like an ordinary person. Housing, equipment, and information? The hotel manager asked in a gentlemanly manner. Here, everything an assassin needed could be provided. Staying here meant absolute safety. Here, the assassin could also get the equipment and information he needed. If he was injured, he could even receive medical treatment here. Of course, the price here was also very expensive. Information, Wang Zhong said with familiarity. Okay, whose information do you need? Woodpeckers. Okay, I'll check. Woodpecker. a veteran of the underground world, was a money laundering expert. His disciples were all over the world. Those who knew him knew the reason why he was nicknamed Woodpecker was because of his superb stock trading skills. As long as he had his eyes on a stock, regardless of whether it was going up or down, he would persevere like a woodpecker, pecking and pecking at the tree until he made a lot of money. When the time came, he would successfully withdraw. Woodpecker's information was not hard to find, because no one would touch him. He had earned money from many big shots in his early years. Touching him was the same as touching those big shots. Although he had retired, he still had many disciples. No one wanted to mess with him. Soon, the manager pulled up Woodpecker's phone number. "This is his business number. We can only give you this information." "Okay." Wang Zhong wrote down the number, paid the 5 million service fee and left. After leaving the hotel, Wang Zhong dialed Woodpecker's number. "If you want to find Mr. Taft for information, please press 1. If you want to find Mr. Taft for investment, please press 2. If you want to find Mr. Taft for business, please press 3. If you want to find Mr. Taft for personal matters, please press the well button." Wang Zhong was speechless. Taft's business was still so big even though he had retired. After thinking for a while, Wang Zhong pressed 4. He was looking for Woodpecker to learn and consult about financial matters. Of course, this was a personal matter. "Connecting for you. Please wait." After a few rings, the sweet girl said, "Hello, may I ask why you are looking for Mr. Taft?" "I want to ask about some financial matters." "Okay, I'll send you the payment account later. Transfer 10 million. Mr. Taft will video call you." "Okay." After hanging up, Wang Zhong sighed. This guy was really something. 10 million for a phone call. The video call was quickly connected. On the other end was a wrinkled old man. He murmured, "Who are you? Why are you looking for me?" "I'm just an ordinary person. I want to ask some questions about the stock market." "Okay, I'll send you the summary of my stock market experience. You can ask me if there's anything you don't understand." "Mr. Taft." Wang Zhong's tone became serious. He didn't want to see the stock market experience. In his opinion, this Taft was so good at the stock market. He wouldn't simply follow the stock market experience. He must have his own specialty. "As long as you can make me a stock market expert in 3 days, I'll give you a treasure." 3 days? Ha, are you crazy? At this moment, Taft was sure that Wang Zhong was a stupid rich kid who didn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. If Wang Zhong didn't pay 10 million, he would have hung up the video call. "I'm not crazy. You can take a look at this. I promise you'll like it." "What is it? What do you lack the most right now?" "Lack the most?" Taft frowned. At his level, he didn't lack anything. Money, power, women, he had them all. But he was already so old. What he lacked the most was longevity. "What you lack is life. I have a way to make you at least 10 years younger." "Oh." Taft was tempted. What Wang Zhong said was right. He was afraid of dying of old age. Although it was said that everyone would experience life and death, people like him, who had money and power, were most afraid of death. If he could live longer, he could enjoy more. "You really have a way?" Taft asked. Chapter 560. A day later, Tafu and Wang Zhong met at the same hotel. Tafu was very excited. He knew that he didn't have much time left, so he had been trying to find a way to increase his lifespan. Sometimes he would take a lot of detours, but he didn't care. Since he was going to die, he would just treat it like a dead horse. Of course, those who dared to lie to him wouldn't have a good ending. When they arrived at Wang Zhong's room, Tafu entered the room with 3 bodyguards. Wang Zhong didn't care about this. After all, in his eyes, these people couldn't even withstand a single blow. "You really have the secret to longevity? Tell me. I can give you anything you want." Tafu shouted excitedly. "Don't be so excited, Mr. Tafu." Wang Zhong took a step back. This Tafu was fat, greasy, and extremely ugly. He felt disgusted. "The secret to longevity, I definitely have it. But what about the things I want? If you can't help me become a financial expert in 3 days, I won't give you the secret." "Ahahaha, don't worry. You don't need 3 days. With my help, you only need 1 day, even if you don't know anything." Taffa said indifferently. Originally, Taffa's men wanted to capture Wang Zhong and interrogate him, but Taffa immediately dispelled the idea. First, Wang Zhong was staying in this hotel. Second, Wang Zhong dared to look for him openly. He wasn't a fool, he definitely had a backup plan. Anyway, to him, as long as he could live longer, he could pay any price. You guys can leave. Taffa waved his hand, signaling the bodyguards to leave. Wang Zhong closed the door and said, "Speak. Let's take out what we need together, how about it?" Okay. Wang Zhong nodded. He didn't need to hide anything to prevent others from thinking too much. Immediately, he took out the elixir that he exchanged with experience points. This elixir was exchanged from the demon fox world. In essence, it was an ordinary chi elixir. If an ordinary person ate it, it would increase their strength, improve their physique, and increase their vitality. Wang Zhong had previously discovered that after ordinary people ate it, their lifespan would increase by about 10 years. However, if they ate it a second time, it would no longer be effective. This is called a luck pill. After you eat it, take a bath, and you will soon find that you are glowing. Is it really that good? First of all, I don't talk nonsense. Secondly, it's up to you to believe it or not. Wang Zhong said indifferently. Alright. Taff had no reason not to gamble. Then he took out the black book. This is a treasure I obtained from an ancient tomb when I was young. Wang Zhong glanced at the words on the black book. The words were very complicated and curved. It didn't look like English or Latin. What does that mean? What this means is luck. Taff began to explain. People's karmic luck is very strange. Some people have heaven-defying karmic luck when they are young, and everything goes smoothly for them. But in their later years, their karmic luck is lacking, and everything goes wrong. Some people don't have good karmic luck in their early years, but the river flows east for 30 years, and the river flows west for another 30 years. As they grow up, some people's karmic luck gradually goes against the heavens. This book talks about the path of karmic luck. I invest in stocks and finance not only because I have some professional knowledge, but also because I read this book. Wang Zhong took the ancient book and found that the contents of the book had been translated and written in English. Karmic luck is a mysterious thing. For example, some people have heaven-defying karmic luck. If an unlucky person is with them, their karmic luck will also be heaven-defying. However, if the unlucky person has heaven-defying karmic luck, the heaven-defying person will also be unlucky. The reason why people call me a woodpecker when it comes to stocks, and I only play one stock at a time, is because of this. I don't dare to provoke people with good karmic luck, so I find a lot of unlucky people. I give them money, and let them buy the same stock at the same time. Then I buy a rise. Under the hedging, the unlucky one who buys a fall is heaven-defying, so I buy a rise and win. So that's how it is. Wang Zhong understood. He had heard of this before. In the past, there were people at the casino who saw the people at the table who often lost and bet in the opposite direction. Basically, this method would win money. If you still didn't win money, it could only mean that your karmic luck is worse than that person's. At this time, it's best to stop. Of course, you can't bet more money than the other party, so as to avoid affecting your luck. This kind of karmic luck seems mysterious, but in fact, there is a certain logic to it. Wang Zhong remembered that in his previous life on Earth, every year during the Spring Festival, there would be a game of cards. The games were nothing more than bull fried golden flour, and so on. Some people would lose no matter how they played cards. If you met such people, you would quickly be the banker and kill them. Some people had frightening luck. At this time, if they weren't the banker, you would bet with them. Basically, you would win. Of course, when playing cards, you have to take the helm according to the wind. Stop when you are ahead, because you will lose if you play too long. And Taff used karmic luck to the extreme. He believed in karmic luck, so he found a lot of unlucky people. When he guessed that the stock would fall, he made these people buy the stock to rise, making the people who thought it would rise even more unlucky. As for him, he was short. Every time he operated, he could rely on this method to make a lot of money. But when he announced it to the outside world, he always had a lot of excuses. He said that his skills were awesome, that he could calculate, but in fact he relied on karmic luck. Got it. This book is mine, Wang Zhong said and threw a karmic luck pill. Thank you. Taft swallowed it without hesitation and said, I hope you won't lie to me, because anyone who lies to me will become my unlucky person. Oh, unlucky person? That's right. Unlucky people are not that easy to find. So sometimes I need to create unlucky people. People who provoke me will become unlucky people. I will make their parents, brothers, and sisters suffer one after another. I will make them suffer from bad luck from then on. When they are desperate, I will give them a sum of money on the condition that they buy stocks. In the end, they will find that after buying the stocks, they will not make a single profit. You are indeed vicious, Taft said. Suddenly, his eyes lit up because he found that his chest, which had always been tight, suddenly became much lighter. The wrinkles on his palms also became smoother. I've become younger. Ha 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 ha, Taft shouted excitedly. I've really become a young man. Okay, you can go now, Wang Zhong said bluntly. Thank you. Taft turned and left. His steps were much lighter now. Wang Zhong, on the other hand, began to read the book. There was not much content in this ancient book. It only talked about how to observe a person's karmic luck. A person with good karmic luck had a straight chest, a dignified appearance, and a radiant look between their brows. Especially their hair, which was glossy and meticulous, and their clothes would not get dirty easily. A person with bad karmic luck would be dejected and complain. Their brows were always wrinkled, and their hair was dull and dull. Their clothes were wrinkled, and even their skin was darker than others. Of course, a person's karmic luck would change. This depended on what a person had done, and who they had gotten close to. For example, if you knew a person with good karmic luck as a friend, you might do things smoothly. Otherwise, you would be unlucky. I didn't expect the path of karmic luck to be so mysterious. Wang Zhong was secretly amazed. In the past, he knew that karmic luck was extraordinary, but he did not systematically understand it. Now that he looked at it, there were many things he needed to pay attention to. After leaving the hotel, Wang Zhong released his spirit energy. After confirming that no one was following him, he left the place. Although he was not afraid of those people, he was also afraid of trouble. He still preferred those ordinary days. In the following days, other than going to work, Wang Zhong specially spent money to find a teacher to teach him about stocks and funds. With his clever mind, Wang Zhong absorbed all the knowledge one by one. After learning enough, Wang Zhong estimated that he would enter the system soon. However, the system did not prompt him, so he was happy to be idle. Today, when he came to the 4S store, Wang Zhong could not wait to open the stock window to see what stocks to buy. He had bought some stocks in the past few days, but there were ups and downs. Although he had read the book of karmic luck, he could not implement it in a short time. He was now familiar with the operation. Ring ring ring. At this time the phone rang. The receptionist called to say that He Jianda was looking for him. Previously, He Jianda called Wang Zhong again, but Wang Zhong had already made it clear that he would not sell this place. He did not expect that after a few days, He Jianda would come again. I don't want to see him, Wang Zhong said without hesitation. It's like this. He also brought a friend and said that he must see you. He also said that you will regret it if you don't see him. He has something good for you. Wow, he even threatened me. He said it was something good, but it was probably something bad. Wang Zhong said, Okay, let them in. He wanted to see what tricks He Jianda was playing. Mr. Wang, you are so capable. I just left not long ago, and you have already taken care of this place. He Jianda laughed. Yeah, it's mainly because you didn't know how to do business back then. Wang Zhong did not intend to give him any face. He Jianda's face froze, but he did not get angry. He thought that young people liked to be competitive, and were not sensible at all. Behind He Jianda was a middle-aged man with a centipede tattoo on his neck. He looked fierce, and sat aside without waiting for Wang Zhong's permission. Mr. He, why are you looking for me? I think I made it clear on the phone that I am quite satisfied with this place. So even if you add 5 million, I will not sell it. Don't be anxious, Mr. Wang. This is my younger brother. We came here this time because we have no choice. It's for our father. He Jinda shook his head helplessly. He seemed to be very helpless. I'm sorry, I have no choice for your father. How about this, Mr. Wang? You name a price. Everyone in the world was interested in profits. Since Wang Zhong did not agree to 5 million, he would add more money. Unfortunately, Wang Zhong still shook his head. I don't lack money. If you must talk about this, please leave. Pa. If anything happens to our father, I will drag you down with me. The tattooed man slammed the table and shouted. Chapter 561. Are you threatening me? Wang Zhong narrowed his eyes. No. He Jinda waved his hand and smiled. My brother has just been released from prison. His temper is not very good. Please don't mind him. One was playing the good cop. The other was playing the bad cop. Their performance was not bad. Mr. Wang, I know you are not short of money, but you have no use for this place, right? Why do you have to make things difficult for us? How about this? We will increase the price by 20 million. We will double the price for you. Jinda's calculations were not bad. This place would cost him at least 100 million. If he sold this place, he could make at least 100 million. Unfortunately, Wang Zhong still shook his head. Sorry, I don't want to sell. You. Good, very good. Mr. Wang, you are forcing our father to his death. Wang Zhong was speechless. How did he become the enemy who killed his father? Since Mr. Wang is determined not to sell this place, then forget it. But you have to be careful when you go out in the future. Jindao snorted coldly. Well, okay. Oh yes, Mr. He, do you play the stock market? Yes, I have. Why? I will give you 100,000. Help me choose a stock market. How about that? What for? I will give you a reward. Help me choose a stock market. Tell me your stock account. I will transfer the money to you. Jinda did not know what Wang Zhong was planning. But it did not matter. Since the other party was giving him money, how could he not accept it? Jinda logged into his stock trading account on the computer in the other office. Wang Zhong sent him 100,000 yuan. I have my eyes on this Central Paper Company. It has been falling recently. What do you think? In this world, one could buy a rise or a short in the stock market. For example, if one bought a short, the stock price would rise. That would be a loss. I have read about this recently. I heard that the chairman of Central Paper Company was in a car accident. Now Central Paper Company has no leader. It will definitely fall. I will buy a short. Jinda had also studied some stocks. So he knew about the situation of Central Paper Company. After saying that, he was afraid that Wang Zhong would ask for the money back. So he placed all his bets on the Central Paper industry. After thinking about it, he still had more than 300,000 yuan in his account. He bought it all together. After all, it was a rare opportunity. He had been busy with the 4S store for the past few days, and had not had time to invest in stocks. After confirming that Jinda had made the purchase, Wang Zhong opened his account. There was more than 5 million yuan in it. He didn't even think about it. He had bet all of it on the Central Paper industry. Are you stupid? The leader of the Central Paper industry got into a car accident. The newspapers are saying that they are definitely not going to make it. Why are you still buying in? Jinda looked at Wang Zhong, as if he was looking at an idiot. Wang Zhong said, let's see whose luck is better. Let's make a bet. You want to gamble on stocks? You're really something. Jinda snorted coldly. He looked at the stocks and laughed. The stocks were indeed falling, and it was falling very fiercely. In a short period of time, Wang Zhong had already lost around 500,000 yuan. Then I will make a move first. Jinda felt that Wang Zhong would definitely fall badly this time. After Jinda left, Sun Susu walked in and said, Chief Wang, those two men were very fierce. They even threatened the receptionist, and said that they would beat her up if she didn't call you. Why? You're concerned about me? Wang Zhong chuckled. Sun Susu blushed and said, You are my boss. You are the one who pays my salary. Of course, I am concerned about you. All right. Those two men did come looking for trouble. Wang Zhong told Wang Zhong what happened. I knew that Jinda was up to no good. How did you respond? The man beside He Jinda doesn't seem to be easy to deal with. Don't worry. We had a good chat. He Jinda even picked out some stocks for me. Wang Zhong showed Sun Susu the stocks on his computer. Central Paper. I heard that the chairman got into a car accident recently. It is quite troublesome. Sun Susu frowned and asked, You bought so many stocks? That's right. Wang Zhong smiled faintly. He had already predicted that the Central Paper industry would fall. But since He Jindao saw nothing, Wang Zhong decided to buy in. Why? From Wang Zhong's point of view, He Jian was extremely unlucky. He is unlucky. First, he had just sold this place. And then he heard about the demolition. Just now, He Jinda had offended Wang Zhong. How can he not be unlucky? That's why Wang Zhong is betting. He is betting on his luck. And that He Jinda is unlucky. Sun Susu was speechless. Wang Zhong doesn't know anything about stocks. Just when he was about to remind Wang Zhong to withdraw from the stock market tomorrow, Central Paper stopped falling and started to rise. Oh, the decline has narrowed. It is starting to rise again. Seeing this, Wang Zhong knew he had won the bet. Immediately, he switched on his computer and searched for Central Paper. After a while, he received an important piece of news. Central Paper had received an order worth 1.5 billion renminbi. This deal had helped Central Paper to reach their annual revenue target half a year earlier. Not only that, Central Paper's chairman had also been discharged from the hospital. He had only suffered minor injuries. Because of these two pieces of good news, Central Paper's share prices soared. In a blink of an eye, the share prices had increased by 5%. How? How can this be? On the road, He Jianda, who was sitting behind the car, was stunned. He was proud of his small profits and did not expect to lose money in the blink of an eye. And now, Central Paper's share prices had reached its upper limit. Damn! Why? Why did this happen? This amount of money was small, but he was embarrassed. After all, he had seen with his own eyes how Wang Zhong bought Central Paper's share prices. After this round, Wang Zhong had made a lot of money. Brother, this Wang Zhong is too arrogant. I will get some brothers to deal with him. Well, that's for sure. Find out who is in his family. He Jianda's eyes flashed with a cold light. But what they did not expect was that when he and his brother returned home that night, they encountered gas poisoning and died. Late at night, Wang Zhong turned on his computer and logged into the assassin organization darknet. Looking at the pictures of He Jianda and his brother being successfully taken care of, he silently paid the 500,000 renminbi bounty. This was the advantage of being an assassin organization on the dark net. They only needed to pay a little money to solve their own problems. Leaning on the bed, Wang Zhong closed his eyes. His mind gradually emptied, because at this time, the system appeared in front of him. He was about to enter the game. Looking at the two options in front of him, Xiao Dai and Li Tu, Wang Zhong finally chose Li Tu's Ding. Game is loading. Reborn creature. Li Tu the Honest. Bio. Li Tu the Honest was born in an ordinary mountain village. Growing up, Li Tu was the most honest child in the village. He was always bullied by other children because of his honesty. Later, his father had an affair and left home with the family's money. From then on, Li Tu and his mother depended on each other. Because of his lack of a father and his honesty, Li Tu was bullied by his classmates in school. Even when he was in university, he was still the most obscure existence in his class. Mission objective: I am an honest man. My name is Li Tuesday. I was originally a delivery man, an ordinary honest man. Who would have thought that a phone call would change my life? I inherited a large amount of money, a total of 100 million. I became a millionaire. But a rich life didn't bring me happiness. The goddess who ignored me in the past took the initiative to approach me. The so-called good brothers in the past also took the initiative to approach me. My biological father, who didn't want me since I was young, took the initiative to approach me. But I was too honest. It wasn't until they cheated me of all my money that I realized they were after my money. In the end, because I did not have the money to go to the hospital, I died of illness. I regret it so much. I should not have been so honest. I don't want to be an honest man. I want to be a scumbag. I want to be a big scumbag. I want to take revenge on all those who look down on me. I want them to know that I am not a pushover. Mission completion reward, random experience points. Due to the uniqueness of the game, you will directly enter the age of 22. The cold voice rang in Wang Zhong's ears. Wang Zhong was not surprised because it was easy to understand. In this life, his character was an honest man. If he started the game at birth, with his personality, he would not leave an honest impression on the people around him. Therefore, it was normal to start the game as an honest man at the start. A white light flashed, and the sound of an alarm clock rang in his ears. Wang Zhong opened his eyes and scanned his surroundings. The dark and damp basement rented room was only about 20 square meters. There was no TV, no wardrobe, only a dirty bed, a table and a plastic stool. Behind the door, there were a few clothes that belonged to him. A yellow vest with the words Cho Tuan Takeout written on the back. This was his work uniform. Li Tu did not have any work experience after graduation. He had no background and was an honest man. He looked around for a job, but could not find one. In the end, he embarked on the path of delivery. Cho Tuan Takeout and Full Up had monopolized the outside of the city. The competition between the two companies was fierce. In order to occupy the market share, the two companies were frantically recruiting delivery men. Therefore, Li Tu naturally became one of the delivery men without having to suck up to anyone. Although the room was not big, it was clean and tidy. There was a bowl of instant noodles on the table, and a faded laptop on the side. It was obvious that the laptop was the most valuable thing in the room. It was a second-hand product that Li Tu bought online for 1,000 yuan. Although it did not run fast, it was enough to watch a movie. On the ground, there was a trash can full of paper towels. This guy lives alone and wastes paper towels. Wang Zhong was speechless as he thought to himself. At the same time, memories of Li Tu flooded his mind. Li Tu was a kind person since he was young. However, in this day and age, people who were kind were bullied. Li Tu was such a person. In fact, he was not stupid. He was just introverted and not good with words. He also had someone he liked. For example, the girl in the screensaver of his computer and phone. She was his goddess and the campus belle of his class, Yao Bing. Thinking of Yao Bing, Wang Zhong could not help but sigh. Back then, Li Tu even wrote her a love letter. Chapter 562. Thinking about the love letter, Wang Zhong couldn't help but complain about Li Tu's day originally. Li Tu didn't have the guts to write a love letter. But under the encouragement of his roommates, he wrote a love letter. It was very mushy. Something about loving and protecting you for the rest of my life. I'll be with you till the end of the world. Of course, these were all his roommates' ideas. In the end, he was rejected by Yao Bing. In order to stop him from harassing her, Yao Bing threw the love letter at Li Tu's face in front of all their classmates to humiliate Li Tu's day. From that day onwards, Li Tu was not only an honest man, but also an idiot. Many people knew that Li Tu was the easiest to bully. Finally, they graduated. Those who were capable had jobs, while those who weren't could only help each other. Li Tu was the only one who had no one to rely on. Fine, Li Tu, I'm yours from now on. I'll change your fate. Wang Zhong murmured. He took out his phone and found a phone number and a text message. Just yesterday, Li Tu, who had been delivering food in a daze, received a phone call. A lawyer who claimed to be from Hong Kong said that his uncle was seriously ill and wanted to see his brother's son before he died. If he was satisfied, he would give all his inheritance to him. He's here. Wang Zhong knew it was true because the lawyer had told him everything about his family last night. His uncle's name was Li Desheng. He was the brother of Li Tu's father, Li Ercheng. Li Desheng was famous for being a good businessman. He made tens of thousands of yuan in a short period of time by reselling clothes and shoes. But Li Tu's father, Li Ercheng, was famous for being a lazy man. Not only was he lazy, but he was also calculative. When Li Desheng went out to buy goods, he stole Li Desheng's money and gambled. In the end, Li Desheng and Li Ercheng had a quarrel. Li Desheng was so angry that he took the remaining few thousand yuan and went to Hong Kong. Li Desheng made a fortune in Hong Kong. For so many years, The two brothers had never contacted each other because they had lost their parents. After so many years, Li Desheng had two sons. But because he was too rich, his two sons were kidnapped and killed. Li Desheng's wife was so sad that she passed away at a young age. Li Desheng was the only one left in the huge family. Logically speaking, this inheritance should have been inherited by his younger brother Li Ercheng. However, Li Desheng knew that Li Ercheng was a good-for-nothing. He had secretly investigated Li Ercheng and found out that he had abandoned his wife and children and had gone to the city to develop his career. He had always been an ignorant and incompetent person. Disappointed, Li Desheng noticed his younger brother's son Li Tuesday. After secretly investigating, he found that his nephew was not bad. He was an honest person and had nothing to do with Li Ercheng. Therefore, he asked the lawyer to contact Li Tuesday. Wang Zhong followed the address in the text message, got dressed and prepared to go out. Dong dong dong. At this moment, someone knocked on the door. Wang Zhong frowned. He suddenly remembered that today was the day to pay the rent. Li Tu did not have many friends, and his classmates did not know that he lived here. Therefore, it must be the landlord who was looking for him. Wang Zhong could not help but have a headache when he thought of the landlord's ferocious look. That person was simply a miser. After opening the door, Wang Zhong was surprised to see a fashionable beauty in her 20s. Wang Zhong recognized this woman. She was the landlord's daughter, Yi Leiqian. Yi Leiqian was the same as her parents. Her temper was not very good. She was also the type of person who looked down on others. Therefore, this girl was already 27 or 28 years old. She was still unmarried and was probably looking for a rich husband. Of course, Yi Leiqian's appearance was not bad. He still remembered how Li Tu was stunned when he saw her. Sometimes, he would even dream of Yi Leiqian's enchanting figure wearing a thin veil. Basically, Li Tu could not help but feel excited. Sigh, no wonder he ran out of napkins so quickly. Wang Zhong felt that his body was a little weak. Although Li Tu had a good impression of Yi Leiqian obviously hated a loser like Wang Zhong. She chewed gum, and her beautiful eyes scanned the small room behind Wang Zhong and the pile of napkins in the trash can. Her eyes were filled with even more disgust. My mom said it's time for you to pay the rent. You've already owed it for half a month. Yi Leiqian rolled her eyes at Wang Zhong and said. Wang Zhong sniffed and took out his phone. There was more than 30,000 yuan in it. This was the money that Li Tu saved when he was living frugally and eating instant noodles every day. He was even reluctant to buy ham sausages. In this mission, other than being a scumbag, there was actually a side mission. That was to take revenge on those who looked down on him. The meaning of this revenge was more general. It was not the kind of revenge that would kill you. It was to let them know that he was not easy to bully. After thinking for a while, Wang Zhong had a plan in his mind. Rent. I'll pay you immediately. No rush. Then you won't pay me back? How much does it cost to have sex with you once? Wang Zhong asked coldly. What do you mean? Yi Leiqian was stunned. Wang Zhong continued. I said I'll pay the rent for your house. I can also pay for having sex with you once. Once when he was delivering food, Wang Zhong saw Yi Leiqian and a bald old man entering a hotel. Therefore, Wang Zhong knew that Yi Leiqian was not a good person. Didn't she look down on him? Then he would humiliate her. Are you an idiot? Get lost. Yi Leiqian's face changed instantly. What did this guy take her for? Although she spent time with other people outside, those people were all big bosses. They would give her a few thousand yuan every time. Did this delivery guy think that she was a hair salon? However, in the next moment, Wang Zhong directly pulled Yi Leiqian in. After closing the door, Wang Zhong threatened. Don't King pretend. Weren't you at Sheraton Hotel the day before yesterday? Do you think I don't know? You. What do you know? Yi Leiqian's face changed. He knew that she had booked a room with an old man. She was arrogant and thought that she was superior to others. She couldn't bear it. I'm telling you, don't talk nonsense. At this moment, Yi Leiqian was a little flustered. She suddenly found that Li Tu was different from before. This tenant used to be very honest. Every time he saw her, Li Tu would avoid her. But now he was not afraid of her at all. I won't talk nonsense. It depends on your performance. How much did those men pay you? Yi Leiqian gritted her teeth and said nothing. However, Wang Zhong would not let her go. He started to act immediately. Don't worry. I'll give you money too. Yi Leiqian wanted to resist, but she didn't dare to. An hour later, Wang Zhong took a deep breath and transferred 2,000 yuan to Yi Leiqian. 1,000 yuan was the rent here. Even Wang Zhong didn't expect that Yi Leiqian's price was so low. He guessed that Yi Leiqian was afraid. She was worried that Wang Zhong would tell others about her. You're good at it. I'll call you later, Wang Zhong said with a smile. Yi Leiqian's face was gloomy. I hope it's our secret. Otherwise, I'll sue you for raping me. Ha ha ha. Don't worry. Yi Leiqian turned around and left. At this moment she regretted to death. She could ask for more, but she didn't dare to ask for a high price because she was afraid of offending Li Tuesday. She only took 1,000 yuan. Wang Zhong put on his clothes again, closed the door, and went out to take a taxi. An hour later, he arrived at the airport. The lawyer who called before noticed him and came over. Hello, Mr. Li Tuesday. I'm Su Wan, the lawyer of Li Desheng. I'll take you to the plane this time. The plane ticket has been bought. Su Wan's attitude was respectful. After all, Wang Zhong in front of him was a future billionaire. If he talked well, he could do business with him in the future. Anyway, he also had a law firm in the mainland. According to the information, Su Wan knew that Wang Zhong was an honest person. It was estimated that he had never taken a plane before. Therefore, the considerate service made Wang Zhong have a good impression of him. 4 hours later, the two people came out of the airport and drove to the hospital where Li Desheng lived. Li Desheng's condition was very bad. In the VIP intensive care unit, there was a 6-person medical team taking care of Li Desheng. This was the privilege of the rich. Your uncle's internal organs are failing. Now the doctor can barely maintain his life system. He wants to see you for the last time. Go in. Su Wan nodded to Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong was taken into the ward. Looking at Li Desheng, who was lying on the bed with his eyes closed, he felt very strange. In Li Tu's memory, there was no impression of Li Desheng. Li Desheng must have left home before Li Tu was born. Child. Perhaps perceiving that there was someone around him, Li Desheng slowly opened his turbid eyes. He glanced at Wang Zhong and closed his eyes again. You and your father look different. My father abandoned me and my mother when I was young. Now I don't know where he is. Wang Zhong said honestly. Well, he is really not a good person. This is also the reason why I didn't contact him. Some people are not worth paying attention to. This kind of person should stay away from him, because when he is struck by lightning, it is easy to hurt you. Wang Zhong was speechless. He didn't expect his uncle to have such a way of speaking. This was believed to be Li Desheng's style of doing things. What are you doing now? Delivering takeout. Well, although you are a little stupid, at least you are diligent. My Li family will not be extinct. Li Desheng gasped for breath. It seemed that it was very difficult for him to say a word. After a while Li Desheng continued. I won't live long. Now my assets are about 10 billion. 10 billion, upon hearing this number, even Wang Zhong himself was shocked. This didn't seem to match the mission description. However, Wang Zhong was not a person who had never seen money. After a short surprise, his face was still expressionless. But I can only give you 100 million, because I don't know if you can hold on to so much wealth. Uncle, what should I do? Wang Zhong asked. 5 years. I will give you 5 years. If you can take this 100 million and earn 100 million, 10 billion will be given to you. Otherwise, you can only take this 100 million. Chapter 563. After listening to Li Desheng's explanation, Wang Zhong understood. In the end, this is a test to see if Wang Zhong can keep this 100 million wealth test. If he has the ability, 100 million yuan is very easy to do any business. If not, just like the original owner Li Tu, after a few years, he was seriously ill and couldn't even take out the money to see a doctor. Obviously, Li Tu did not pass the test at that time. I understand, I will work hard to keep the wealth. Wang Zhong said. Very good, very good. I originally looked at your information and thought you were very honest. Now it seems that I was wrong. You are very confident. Manager Lee, then I will let the notary come in? Su-won spoke in a timely manner. It was almost time to make a will. Su-won waved her hand. And let's start. Soon 5 notary came in from outside. Under their certification, after Li Desheng's death, Wang Zhong will inherit 100 million yuan in cash, and he will earn 100 million yuan in 5 years. In other words, Wang Zhong's savings must exceed 200 million yuan by then. If this condition is not met, Wang Zhong will not inherit this 10 billion yuan. At the end of the fair, Li Desheng gradually died, and the alarm in the ward was loud. Please go out, we have to save the patient. The nurse and the doctor rushed in first. Wang Zhong sat in the corridor of the ward, looking at the 100 million yuan that had just been transferred to his account, and sighed. 100 million yuan was inherited, and Li Desheng died because of the failure of rescue. Now he has to earn 100 million yuan in the next period of time. After thinking for a long time, Wang Zhong suddenly laughed. Isn't this too simple? You know he is not Li Tu, but Wang Zhong. 3S understand. It is indeed difficult to earn 100 million yuan with 10,000 yuan. But it is simple to earn 100 million yuan with 100 million yuan. Because the richer you are, the easier it is to make money. This is an immutable truth. And give him 5 years. He only needs to earn 20 million yuan a year. Without stopping in Hong Kong, Wang Zhong bought a plane ticket to return to the city where Li Tu originally lived, Green Sky City. Dong. Lying on his broken bed, Wang Zhong began to think. Now that he had 100 million yuan, there were too many choices for him to choose from, be it real estate, stocks, business, or factories. What kind of business should I do? He was still unfamiliar with the world of real estate speculation and stock speculation, so he couldn't be too hasty. Opening a factory and doing business required connections and knowledge of the market. Bah! I'm such a fool. Why am I thinking so much? If I don't understand these things, I can slowly understand them. I'll buy a house, a car, and clothes first. Wang Zhong slapped his head. He was about to laugh at himself. What was the most important thing in doing business these days? It wasn't about connections or projects. What was important was the packaging. If you don't know how to package, don't have a car, and don't have class, no one will be willing to make friends with you. If no one makes friends with you, then you won't have any connections. Thinking of this, Wang Zhong went out to buy a car and a house. Of course, he hadn't canceled the lease yet. After all, buying a house required time. Where would he live if he canceled the lease now? After leaving the house, he rode the electric scooter to eat first. Just as they were eating, a phone call came in. Wang Zhong took a look and saw that it was his boss. Li Tu, why didn't you come to work for the past 2 days? Why didn't you tell me that you weren't coming to work? Oh right. Wang Zhong remembered that he had just become Li Tu yesterday and forgot to apply for leave when he went to Hong Kong. Wang Zhong could actually quit his job, but he still had his salary there. Also, when he joined the food delivery business, he still had to pay a deposit of 1,000 yuan. Although he didn't care about the money, he wouldn't let others take advantage of him. I'm sorry, Mr. Liu. I've been sick for the past 2 days. Li Tu's boss was called Lu Ming. He was an entrepreneur in his 30s. He was a little stingy, but he wasn't a bad person. After listening to Wang Zhong's explanation, Lu Ming's tone softened. When are you coming over? I'm telling you, I'm just following the rules. You've been absent for 2 days without any reason. I'll deduct 400 yuan from you. Okay, I'll be right there. After hanging up the phone, Wang Zhong went over to pay and leave. Lu Ming's food delivery office was located in the middle of a row of storefronts. He rented a total of 5 storefronts. Lu Ming was usually in his office, so Wang Zhong knew that he was here at this time. Boss, I've been working for 20 days this month. Can you let me see how much my salary is? Wang Zhong knocked on the door and entered Lu Ming's office. What's wrong, Li Tu? You don't want to work anymore? Lu Ming said with a cigarette in his mouth. Yes, I have other work. Okay, if you don't want to work, I won't force you. Lu Ming didn't care. There were plenty of delivery workers. Although Li Tu was hardworking, he was not irreplaceable. He checked on the computer and said, "I'll give you 2,000 yuan." 2,000 yuan? Wang Zhong frowned. He had been working for 20 days. If he didn't earn 3,000 yuan, he would at least earn 2,500 yuan. Including the deposit, it was a total of 3,500 yuan. Lu Ming, my salary should be 3,500 yuan. If I leave early, you should at least give me 3,000 yuan. Wang Zhong argued. I'm sorry, it's really only 2,000 yuan. Since Wang Zhong didn't want to work anymore, Lu Ming decided to cheat him. In his mind, Li Tu was an honest man who was easy to bully. Wang Zhong smiled. Okay, then give me 2,000 yuan. I'll talk to other colleagues later. Let's see if they still dare to work for you in the future. Oh right, you also contracted this place, right? If the clown knows about your actions, how do you think they will punish you? Wang Zhong was very familiar with this kind of food delivery business. Basically, they needed to pay the clown group a deposit. If he exposed the fact that they deducted the salary of their employees, the clown group would definitely investigate, and it would be very bad for Lu Ming. Moreover, if other delivery workers knew about this, who would dare to work for him? After all, delivering food was a tough job. Every day in the rain, they only earned 3 to 5 yuan. It was very hard work. No one wanted their salary to be deducted after working so hard. What do you mean? Exactly what I mean. I want you to give me my salary now, or else. Wang Zhong took out his phone. This is the record of my orders. If you deduct my salary, then everyone will know. Lu Ming was scared. He couldn't understand why the honest Li Tu that he scolded in the past dared to talk to him like this today. Li Tu, why are you in such a hurry? I haven't settled the account yet. People always bully the weak and fear the strong. Wang Zhong was so strong-willed that Lu Ming didn't dare to provoke him. In the end, all the money was given to Wang Zhong. After leaving the office, Lu Ming cursed under his breath. F***ck, you have guts. Wang Zhong walked out of the office and turned around to walk towards an agency. This agency was a chain. There were a lot of first and second-hand houses in the city. At this moment, the agents inside were introducing houses to their clients at their desks. Wang Zhong's entrance didn't attract anyone's attention. These agents all knew Wang Zhong. They knew that he was the delivery man next door. This was because every morning, this group of delivery men would shout slogans at the door. In their opinion, a delivery man must be here to deliver food. Why would he be here to look at houses? Wang Zhong came to an office desk. A middle-aged woman, wearing glasses, was looking at the house information on the computer. When she noticed Wang Zhong, she pushed her glasses up and said, "What's the matter?" This person was called Hulan. She was an agent with a lot of business here. Wang Zhong thought that since she was so old, she must have a lot of houses. "I'm here to look at houses." Hulan recognized Wang Zhong as the delivery man next door. She immediately thought that Wang Zhong must be here for fun. "Look at houses? You can go to the side. I have something else to do." Fine, she pushed Wang Zhong to someone else. Okay then. Wang Zhong didn't care. You're ignoring me, so I'm begging? Hulan pointed to a soft-looking girl, who was enthusiastically explaining the nearby houses to an old lady. This girl was called Su Xiaoyan. She had been working here for a while. Thanks to her soft and beautiful appearance, many people here liked her. Wang Zhong still remembered that Lu Ming from next door often came to get close to Su Xiaoyan. Looking at the lively scene here, Wang Zhong suddenly felt that investing in the real estate market would be a good idea. However, the problem was that he didn't know anything about this place. There was no expert to help him. "Little girl, you said it very well. I'll discuss it with the old man later. I'll call you after I confirm it." After waiting for more than 10 minutes, the old lady finally stood up. "Auntie, this is my business card. You can call me if you need anything." Su Xiaoyan smiled and handed over her business card. "Oh, I know." After the old lady left, Wang Zhong sat in front of Su Xiaoyan's desk. Aren't you the delivery guy next door? What's the matter?" Su Xiaoyan frowned slightly. She was very confident in her appearance. For example, the boss of the delivery company next door, Lu Ming, often came to get close to her from time to time. She thought that Wang Zhong also came to get close to her and wanted to pursue her. She had always been very disgusted with these people. I want to ask if there are any villas in a good location nearby, with transportation, environment and complete surrounding facilities. Wang Zhong said his intention. Su Xiaoyan almost burst out laughing. This silly boy is here to be funny. A delivery guy wants to buy a villa? Don't tell me you're actually a rich second generation and delivering food to experience life? Although she despised Wang Zhong in her heart, Su Xiaoyan's attitude was still very good. She smiled and said, villas there are, but they're very expensive. Well, I saw it online when I came. I think I can accept these prices. Su Xiaoyan patiently searched for some second-hand houses on the computer and said, actually, I think if you want to buy a house, you can consider these houses. They're cheap and affordable. Wang Zhong was speechless. He could see that both Hulan and Su Xiaoyan just now thought that he couldn't afford a house. I want a villa. Why are you showing me these houses? Wang Zhong could only say, but villas are very expensive. I know, I said I can buy them. Take me to see them. Chapter 564. Alright then. Su Xiaoyan thought that she was going to that place anyway, so she nodded in agreement. In fact, Su Xiaoyan didn't think that Wang Zhong could afford it at all. She thought that Wang Zhong was either looking for someone else's house or trying to court her. Fortunately, Su Xiaoyan had a good temper. She thought that since she was going there, she might as well bring Wang Zhong along. Outside the door, seeing that Wang Zhong was about to put on his helmet, Su Xiaoyan said helplessly, it's quite a distance. Let's take a taxi. That works too. Wang Zhong nodded in agreement. Are you looking at the house alone? Anyway, my clients aren't here yet. I'll take you there first. The two of them entered the villa area. Su Xiaoyan and Wang Zhong chatted casually. The quality of this place was indeed good. The environment was very good. There was a whole row of commercial streets outside the door. There was room for appreciation in the future. How much is this house? Following Su Xiaoyan into a villa, Wang Zhong took a liking to it at first glance. Anyway, he was alone. It was fine as long as he felt good. About 12 million, Su Xiaoyan said casually. She was about to call another client who was about to arrive. I'll buy this place, Wang Zhong said without hesitation. You want to buy this place? Yes, can't I? But you have to give me a discount on the price. No, you're really going to buy this place. Su Xiaoyan suddenly realized that Wang Zhong was serious about this, because no one would be so bored as to joke about such things. The price can be discounted, but you need a deposit. How much? I'll transfer the deposit to you right away. Half an hour later, Wang Zhong negotiated the price to 11.8 million and gave a deposit of 100,000. After receiving the deposit, Su Xiaoyan felt like she was in a dream. With so many transactions this time, she could earn a few 100,000 in commission. God, she felt that she was rich. But now, when she looked at Wang Zhong, her eyes were completely shining. She directly rejected the client that she wanted to meet earlier. Anyway, she had accompanied the client to shop a few times. Every time, he said that he would look around again, which annoyed her. Now Su Xiaoyan felt that this Li Tu was quite handsome, young and rich. If he wanted to pursue her, she could accept it. He couldn't say that she was a gold digger. In fact, scolding someone for being a gold digger was a sign of incompetence. Only those who had no money would scold someone for being a gold digger. Because who didn't like money in this world? There were people who didn't like money, because those who didn't like money were rich themselves. What's your name? Su Xiaoyan asked. Li Tu, what's wrong? It's nothing. I remember you used to deliver food. How did you get so rich? Wang Zhong smiled and said, it's from home. F***ck, what a rich second generation. Su Xiaoyan now felt that Wang Zhong might be one of those rich kids who came out to experience life. Wow, then your family is really rich. You're here alone? I don't see your girlfriend usually. Fine, she's starting to get close to me. Wang Zhong found it funny, but he was also happy to see this situation. Because in the future, when he wanted to enter the real estate industry, it was much better to have someone who knew the business. I don't have a girlfriend yet. Of course, I don't have a girlfriend to look at me. Oh, I see. I think you're very handsome. How come you don't have a girlfriend? Maybe I'm not good at chatting. Wang Zhong said helplessly. I see. Then let's add each other's number. I think you're quite interesting. You're interested in my money, right? After adding each other's number, Su Xiaoyan rolled her eyes, and an idea came to her mind. Why don't I treat you to a meal later? Thank you for buying my house. Sure. Wang Zhong had no reason to reject a beauty's invitation. To Wang Zhong's surprise, Su Xiaoyan actually suggested to have a meal here. The reason was to let Wang Zhong experience the quality of the villa in advance. Isn't this reason too lame? Wang Zhong was helpless. In the afternoon, Su Xiaoyan prepared 2 bottles of red wine and bought some seafood. She took the initiative to cook. Because there were no bowls and chopsticks in the house, Su Xiaoyan thoughtfully bought a bowl and chopsticks, as if she was the hostess of the house. This made Wang Zhong feel that it was actually good to have a woman to clean up the house, especially someone like Su Xiaoyan. She was good-looking, and the most important thing was that she did not cost money. Su Xiaoyan's cooking was not bad. 4 dishes, 1 soup, and 4 big crabs cost Su Xiaoyan about 1,000 yuan. She had put in a lot of money. Brotherly, now that you don't deliver food, what are you going to do? Su Xiaoyan asked while eating the crab leg elegantly. What kind of business do you think is good now? Wang Zhong asked back. It depends on how you invest and what you know. Su Xiaoyan was very curious about how much money Wang Zhong was going to take out, but she was embarrassed to say it out loud. After all, that would make her seem too greedy. Do you have any good suggestions? Wang Zhong asked. Suggestions? Oh, my boss is going to sell the intermediary recently. Sell? What does he want to do? Wang Zhong felt strange. I don't know what happened to my boss recently. I heard that he is short of funds, so he is going to sell the intermediary. Otherwise, that place would have an annual income of a few million yuan. Well, this sounds good. I will go and take a look. In a short time, Wang Zhong still did not understand the stock market of this world. So Wang Zhong decided to start with other industries first. After he was familiar with it, he would enter the stock market. After finishing their meal, Su Xiaoyan didn't wait for Wang Zhong to say anything and stayed behind. She took the initiative to take a bath and let nature take its course as the two laid down together. Wang Zhong could not help but sigh. This was the benefit of being rich. He did not need to chase girls, because the girls would automatically throw themselves at him. The next day, Su Xiaoyan was already holding Wang Zhong's neck naturally and whispering sweet nothings. For Wang Zhong, he was just acting. In this life, he wanted a scumbag. How could he be serious? Besides, Su Xiaoyan's purpose was also very strong. He was rich now, so Su Xiaoyan was of course dead set on him. But if he was broke, it would be hard to explain. Brotherly, have you really decided to buy our agency? If that's the case, I can talk to the boss about it. Su Xiaoyan had already treated herself as Wang Zhong's girlfriend. Naturally, she hoped that Wang Zhong could develop well. Well, let's go together. When we make a lot of money, I will buy you a gift. Thank you, brotherly. Su Xiaoyan took the initiative to sit up. After Su Xiaoyan went to work, she asked some well-informed colleagues about her boss's situation. She learned that the boss was going to sell this place. Several bosses had already come to look at it. The price was about 5 million yuan. It was so expensive. Of course, he was not only selling the shop in the company, but also customers and resources. Su Xiaoyan immediately told Wang Zhong the situation. After understanding it, Wang Zhong was brought by Su Xiaoyan to her boss, Zhang Kaitai's office. Zhang Kaitai was about 38 years old. He glanced at Wang Zhong and Su Xiaoyan and was surprised. Xiaoyan, your friend wants to buy it? Yes, boss. I heard that you want to sell it for 5 million yuan. So I brought my friend here. Although she was already together with Wang Zhong, Su Xiaoyan also understood that before she got Wang Zhong's approval, she was not qualified to call herself Wang Zhong's girlfriend. Is that so? Xiaoyan, where did you hear that I want to sell it for 5 million? At least 6 or 7 million. After all, I have a lot of resources here. Otherwise, I would not be willing to sell it. Boss, I heard from other colleagues. Hearsay doesn't count. Zhang Kaitai rolled his eyes and wanted to ask for a higher price. Wang Zhong was very clear that Zhang Kaitai wanted to ask for a higher price. Zhang Kaitai did not know him and thought that he was an insensible young man. Forget it. My ideal price is 5 million. Wang Zhong shook his head. If he did not include the resources of the intermediary company, the shop's price was only 4 million yuan. It was already good to ask for an extra 1 million yuan. He did not want to be a fool. 6 million. If possible, we can negotiate, Zhang Kaitai said. Forget it. Wang Zhong turned his head and walked away. This Zhang Kaitai knew that you wanted to buy it. He actually increased the price at the last minute. It's really infuriating. Outside the door, Su Xiaoyan couldn't help but say, Xiaoyan, do you know why Zhang Kaitai wants to sell this place? In Wang Zhong's view, this place's business was good. Why would Zhang Kaitai want to sell this place for no reason? Moreover, he even sold the company. One must know that this place was profitable every year. Therefore, Wang Zhong concluded that Zhang Kaitai must have encountered something. I don't know about this. Well, how about this? Follow me to a place. Half an hour later, Wang Zhong brought Su Xiaoyan to the electronic equipment market and bought a few listening devices. You secretly put this thing under Zhang Kaitai's desk. Do you know that? You want me to monitor him? Yes, this guy is in a hurry to use money recently. Looking at the situation, he must have encountered something. I need to understand. Then okay. Unknowingly, Su Xiaoyan became very obedient. Xiaoyan, work hard. Now let's go eat. Okay. Su Xiaoyan's heart was filled with excitement. Li Tu already regarded her as one of his own. The next day, Su Xiaoyan quietly took a button-sized listening device and came to the company early in the morning. At this time, there was no one in the company. She put the listening device under Zhang Kaitai's desk and walked out. At this moment, Wang Zhong was shopping in the car market. To become a successful person, he needed a car. The car couldn't be too good, otherwise, people would think that he was a nouveau riche. In addition, Wang Zhong felt that a good car was unnecessary. Therefore, Wang Zhong bought a car that cost about 1 million. This price was about the same and cheap. Wang Zhong had been wearing headphones all day, eavesdropping on Zhang Kaitai's conversation in the office. He was puzzled. According to Su Xiaoyan, Zhang Kaitai came to work every day and never went out to play. Then why was he in a hurry to get cash? At about 10 o'clock, listening to Zhang Kaitai's voice in the headphones, Wang Zhong finally understood. Chapter 565. Open the cards. Banker 7 points, idle 5 points. Banker wins, idle loses. Looking at the few cents left on the computer, Zhang Kaitai slumped down on his seat. He lost again. He was unlucky. He was really unlucky. D***. I won over 1 million this morning. Why did I stop? D***. I should have stopped. Zhang Kaitai rubbed his hair. At this moment his phone rang. Chief Zhang. Hearing the hoarse voice, Zhang Kaitai's face changed. Brother Ben. 2 million. It's almost time. I know. Give me a few days. I'm tight on cash. Give me a few days. Chief Zhang, we gave you 3 months. Our brothers need to eat too. Today, a few of my brothers were shouting that they wanted to smash your place. If I didn't stop them, I'm afraid they would have done it. Chief Zhang. Look how good I am to you. I know. But I only borrowed 1 million. At this moment Zhang Kaitai regretted it. He felt that he had been tricked. Thinking back to half a year ago, he was the boss here. He was young and had an annual income of 2 million. He was considered a successful person. But one time when he was playing mahjong, he met this brother Ben. In the beginning, this brother Ben called him a brother and often invited him out to play. He really treated this brother Ben as a good brother. Not only was he forthright, but he also had a lot of face. He had many brothers under him. Wherever he went, people would give him face. This made him very happy. This was a brother. This was loyalty. If not, why would he be so generous? Then Brother Ben told him that there was a way to earn money. That was this by Jala. Brother Ben played a few rounds with him. In just half an hour, he won over 100,000. This money came too easily. It made him feel that he had found the hope of becoming rich. This was because Brother Bin also said that he relied on this to become rich. It was easy to win 80 to 100,000 every day. This was because he had found the way to play this game, which was the pattern. Then Brother Bin continued to play with him. At first, he won quite a lot. A total of over 1 million. He even gave Brother Bin a big red packet to thank him for finding the way to become rich. However, he didn't expect that in the following days, his luck seemed to be deliberately avoiding him, and he began to lose. First, he lost all his winnings. Then he lost all his savings. At this time, he could no longer stop. Every time he played, he would say, "If I win, I will withdraw. If I win, I will definitely not play." However, he fell deeper and deeper. In the end, his car and house were all mortgaged. He was only left with this company. He was reluctant to sell it because he could earn 1 or 2 million yuan every year. However, it was too late. After losing money once, he borrowed 1 million from Brother Biao. What he did not expect was that in just 3 months, the money had become 2 million. How was he going to take it out? "Mr. Zhang, that's where you're wrong. We're in this business. When you borrowed the money, you promised to pay interest. Why are you going back on your word now?" On the other end of the phone, Brother Biao's voice grew louder. Zhang Kaitai said helplessly, I know, but I really don't have any money." "Hey, that won't do. You know, I borrowed the money from one of my brothers. His temper is not as good as mine. Then I really don't have it. Brother, you have to save me." "Then brother, let me give you an idea. I, as your brother, have taken a fancy to your place. It's for 5 million yuan. You can sell it. Not only can you pay back the money, but you can also get more than 2 million yuan. With this money, you can continue to play and get back what you lost before." "Get it back?" Zhang Kaitai's eyes were red. He had lost a few million yuan. This was all he had. "Mr. Zhang, you lost before because I wasn't by your side, so you didn't figure out the rules. With me around, you will definitely get it back. When you have money, you can do business again. How about it?" "Well, but isn't 5 million yuan too low?" Zhang Kaitai couldn't help but think of Wang Zhong. At that time, Wang Zhong said 5 million yuan. However, he saw that Wang Zhong really wanted this place, so he said 6 million yuan. Now that he thought about it, 5 million yuan was not bad. "Okay, Zhang Kaitai. After all, my brother lent you money. How about 8 million yuan? "Okay, I'll think about it." Zhang Kaitai didn't speak. His mind was still thinking about Wang Zhong. If he really wanted to sell this place, he would rather sell it to Wang Zhong. After hanging up the phone, Brother Biao immediately called his elder brother. "Brother, this Zhang Kaitai lost too much. I told him 8 million yuan. He said he would think about it. Listening to his tone, he really wants to sell. Well, not bad. Lend him some money in the next few days, and let him continue to gamble. When the time comes, he will have to sell it even if he doesn't want to." "Got it, brother. Xiaoyan, the friend you brought last time is your boyfriend, right? He's quite handsome." After Zhang Kaitai hung up the phone, he immediately called Su Xiaoyan to the office. "No, Li Tu and I are just ordinary friends." Although Su Xiaoyan said so, she was happy in her heart. After all, in her opinion, if Wang Zhong was really her boyfriend, she would have a lot of face to live in the villa. "Xiaoyan, I can see that you are definitely a couple. You are quite compatible." Zhang Kaitai said a few perfunctory words. This person didn't care much about beautiful women. Now he was focused on getting back his money. So he continued, "Xiaoyan, your boyfriend came over that day. What did he say?" "What did he say? Didn't he want to buy this place?" "Oh, this matter." Although Su Xiaoyan was young, she was still a middleman after all, so she was still a little shrewd. In order to avoid being seen through, she deliberately said, "Li Tu is just looking around. If the price is right, he will definitely buy it. If not, he doesn't care." "I see." Hearing this, Zhang Kaitai was a little uncomfortable. He thought about it and said, "Let's do it this way. Ask him to increase the price. I can consider selling this place to him." "Well, I will ask him later." After coming out, Su Xiaoyan called Wang Zhong immediately. "Brotherly, you heard the conversation in the office. I don't know what happened to him that made him want to sell. Wang Zhong said. I knew he couldn't wait. How could he not be impatient? He owed 2 million. If he didn't pay back the money, would Brother Biao and the others be nice? Brotherly, what should we do now? I will go over and talk. As the saying goes, the onlooker sees the game best. From the previous conversation with Zhang Kaitai, Wang Zhong heard that Zhang Kaitai should be targeted by a few swindlers. In this society, there was a group of people who specialized in deceiving people. First, they would call you brother. When the time was ripe, they would recommend you some gambling. First, they would let you win a little. After you were addicted, it was time to kill the pig. This was called the pig slaughtering game. It could be seen that the people over there were also eyeing Zhang Kaitai's company and shop. So Wang Zhong wanted to be the first to get it. After thinking about it, Wang Zhong decided not to go over. He didn't want the other party to think that he wanted to buy the place. So he said, wait, bring him to my villa to talk. When talking about business, you have to let the other party understand that you are not begging to buy, but you are begging to sell. Only in this way can you bargain. After more than half an hour, Su Xiaoyan and Zhang Kaitai entered the community. Looking at the facilities of this luxurious community, Zhang Kaitai was envious. Xiaoyan, your boyfriend is quite capable. This place costs more than 10 million, right? Su Xiaoyan looked proud as if Wang Zhong was really her boyfriend. And I bought it for more than 10 million. I just got it. The procedures are still going through. Amazing, really amazing. While Zhang Kaitai was envious, he secretly made up his mind. When I have money, I will also buy a villa like this. By then, a beauty like Su Xiaoyan would probably chase after me. Hello, President Li. When he saw Wang Zhong this time, Zhang Kaitai's attitude was unusually polite. Wang Zhong invited Zhang Kaitai to sit on the sofa and nodded. President Zhang is too polite. I heard from Xiaoyan that you came this time to sell the place? And it's about the price. I've said the price 5 million. The person over there offered 8 million. Wang Zhong heard it very clearly. As long as he wasn't a fool, Zhang Kaitai knew what to choose. Can you add a point? It's like this. In fact, I also have some urgent matters. Otherwise, I wouldn't want to sell this place. If the price isn't right, I still won't sell it. President Zhang, then name a price. Let's make it clear first. I definitely won't buy it for 6 million. Okay. Zhang Kaitai gritted his teeth. Then let's compromise. 5 million. Wang Zhong actually agreed in his heart, but he still looked reluctant. He said to Su Xiaoyan, Xiaoyan, what do you think? Me. Su Xiaoyan didn't expect Wang Zhong to suddenly ask her. That's good. Hehe, since Xiaoyan said so, then it's fine. It seemed that he was using Su Xiaoyan's mouth to speak, but in fact, Wang Zhong had already agreed in his heart. He was using Su Xiaoyan's mouth to get off the hook. Okay. Zhang Kaitai stretched out his hand and said, then give the deposit first. There's no need for the deposit. We'll go through the formalities immediately. I'll give you the money when the time comes. This person was now a gambling addict. People who gambled had no credibility, because a person who couldn't even control his own hands, how could you expect him to keep his promise? Most likely, the moment the deposit was given to him, he would gamble it away. The transfer formalities were completed quickly. 3 days later, Wang Zhong got the property certificates for more than 10 storefronts. As for 5 million, Wang Zhong also transferred it to him. Wang Zhong became the new boss of the company. When the group of intermediaries under him saw Wang Zhong for the first time, they felt that he was really young. Some others were also surprised when they saw that Wang Zhong used to be a delivery man. Especially Hulan, who pushed Wang Zhong's business to Su Xiaoyan, was so shocked that her mouth almost fell. After knowing that Wang Zhong bought a villa from Su Xiaoyan, she regretted it even more. Chapter 566. Xiaoyan, you don't have to run errands anymore. Just help me manage this place, and do a good job. In the office, Wang Zhong hugged Su Xiaoyan, who was sitting on his lap. Okay, brotherly. Su Xiaoyan was very happy. She thought that she had become the lady boss here. She felt proud when she thought of the envious eyes of her former best friends. This is for you. Wang Zhong took out a bag that cost more than 50,000 yuan. Wow, it's a famous brand. It must be worth tens of thousands, right? Su Xiaoyan was so excited that she was about to cry. You're so nice to me. Manage this place well for me in the future. These things are nothing. But if you do something behind my back that harms my interests, Xiaoyan, don't blame me. Wang Zhong's tone was calm. Su Xiaoyan could feel that Wang Zhong was serious. Her heart suddenly trembled. Everything she had now was given to her by Li Tuesday. If she did something wrong, Li Tu would really kick her away. She understood that Wang Zhong was not the kind of person who would be easily controlled by a woman. So she nodded obediently and said softly, Brotherly, I'm your woman. How could I do anything to betray you? But you don't abandon me. Hee, I can't wait to dote on you. Wang Zhong slapped Su Xiaoyan's private part. I lost again. Looking at the gambling table on the computer, Zhang Kaitai was stunned. He lost again, and it was a huge loss. Wang Zhong gave him more than 5 million yuan. He didn't return it immediately but gambled it. In his opinion, he kept losing because he didn't grasp the pattern. Now that he had figured out the pattern, he didn't expect to lose again. 5 million yuan. Only 500,000 yuan left. He didn't dare to gamble anymore. Ring, ring, ring. The phone rang. Mr. Zhang, my brother asked if you've considered it. I helped you put in a lot of good words, and finally got the price to 5 million yuan. You have to thank me properly. Thank my ass. At this moment Zhang Kaitai wanted to cry. I'll sell that place. What, you sold it? Yeah. Then, Zhang Kaitai told her everything, including the fact that he had just lost the money again. F***CKU, even I can't save you this time. Wang Zhong had opened a stock account in the past few days, and started to study the stock market. In this world's stock market, one could also short or buy a lot of stocks. The trading volume was also very high. Wang Zhong saw a few cheap stocks and bought some. Today, he planned to go to the place he had rented before. He hadn't been there since he bought a new house. Although there wasn't anything valuable there, he needed to take some of his documents. You're not renting anymore? When Yi Leiqian heard that Wang Zhong was leaving, she took the initiative to come here and hand over the procedures with Wang Zhong. What? You don't want me to leave? Wang Zhong, who knew Yi Leiqian's true colors, sneered. That's not it either. I just hope that you won't talk nonsense outside. After all, I've already promised you that kind of thing. Hee, I gave you 1,000 yuan. This is a deal. I didn't force you. Anyway, please, don't talk nonsense. No wonder Yi Leiqian came over. It turned out that she was worried that he would talk nonsense. I'm getting married soon, so... Okay, I won't talk about it. But... Wang Zhong pulled her into the house and closed the door. Take the initiative. Although Yi Leiqian was not clean, her skills were really good. Half an hour later, Yi Leiqian's phone rang unexpectedly. Honey. Her voice was too coquettish. Qianqian, what are you doing? Are you tired? Listening to Yi Leiqian's breathing, the person on the other end of the phone was very curious. No, I am running. Oh, why are you running in broad daylight? I'm trying to lose weight. Okay then. I'm almost at your door. Come out later. I'll bring you to see the top student I told you about. Oh Aya, what's wrong? No, nothing. Yi Leiqian gritted her teeth. She didn't expect Wang Zhong to be so capable. Hurry up. Come out later. 3 minutes later, Yi Leiqian put on her clothes and gritted her teeth. I won't charge you this time. Don't look for me in the future. Okay. Wang Zhong smiled indifferently. But you're good at acting in front of your husband. Yi Leiqian snorted. She cursed Wang Zhong in her heart. Scumbag. How could she be entangled with such a person? After packing up, Wang Zhong went out. He was surprised to find that he actually knew the person who met Yi Leiqian. It was Mao Jianhua's roommate at school. Li Tu didn't have many friends back then. He was only familiar with a few roommates. His relationship with Mao Jianhua was a bunk. Their relationship was okay, but not very good. At this moment, Wang Zhong was a little confused. Looking at Mao Jianhua and Yi Leiqian, they were obviously a couple in love. Did he sleep with his classmate's girlfriend? Jianhua, which classmate of yours? Yi Leiqian walked to Mao Jianhua and asked. It's Chen Jiqiang, the one I told you about. Have you forgotten? He's a top student. He's going to start a business. With his ability, he'll be rich in minutes. What does that have to do with us? Yi Leiqian was speechless. Are you stupid? We'll invest in him. When the company gets listed, we'll all be millionaires. Wang Zhong also knew the Chen Jiqiang that Mao Jianhua mentioned. He was indeed a top student in school with countless fans. For example, Mao Jianhua was a big fan of Chen Jiqiang. He was simply Chen Jiqiang's fan back then. When Chen Jiqiang said to go to the east, he would be the first to go to the east. As Mao Jianhua was talking, he also noticed Wang Zhong behind Yi Leiqian. Li Tuesday. Mao Jianhua remembered Wang Zhong. Since the other party had greeted him, it wouldn't be nice to pretend that he didn't see him. Hence he walked over. Mao Jianhua, what a coincidence. You know each other. Yi Leiqian was embarrassed. She still had Wang Zhong's DNA in her body. She didn't expect her fiancé to know Wang Zhong. Their relationship was too messy. Li Tu, he's my classmate, Mao Jianhua said. Li Tu, what are you doing here? Jianhua, Li Tu originally rented my house. He didn't rent it this time. He's here to get something. Yi Leiqian explained awkwardly. Oh, I see. Mao Jianhua knew that Yi Leiqian's house had a basement for rent. He didn't expect Li Tu to live in a basement. Li Tu, where are you now? Mao Jianhua asked. I'm just doing it. How are you doing? Me? Not bad. I'm starting a business with Chen Jiqiang. Oh, a business? Wang Zhong's interest was piqued. He was currently worrying about where to invest his money. If there were any good entrepreneurial projects, he would definitely consider it. What kind of business? Jiqiang made a small game. I've already invested in it. Mao Jianhua raised his head. When the game was released, he would be the boss. You know Jiqiang's ability. He's a straight-A student. This business will definitely succeed. Do you know any bosses? You can introduce them to him and get him to invest. Wang Zhong nodded. Okay, I'll meet him. Let's go. Jiqiang is in the restaurant now. Don't let him wait. Wang Zhong was speechless. Mao Jianhua was too nice to Chen Jiqiang. However, he didn't say much. He followed Mao Jianhua to a fast food restaurant. From afar, Wang Zhong could see a man in a suit sitting by a display window, sitting upright and still. Coincidentally, his car was parked in front of the window. Only the row of houses across the street had parking spaces. Jiqiang, look at who I met. Our old classmate, Li Tuesday. Mao Jianhua introduced him enthusiastically. Oh, Li Tuesday. Chen Jiqiang pushed up his glasses and glanced at Wang Zhong's clothes. Where have you been working recently? Wandering around. Wang Zhong didn't want to talk about the fact that he had bought over 10 shops. In this day and age, people shouldn't reveal their wealth for no reason. Otherwise, you wouldn't know if the other party was sincere. There were too many betrayals in this world. The original Li Tu was too honest. According to the information, he was cheated by his old classmate. Wang Zhong guessed that he was cheated by these two old classmates. In short, he couldn't trust any of them. What's wrong? Too embarrassed to talk about it? Chen Jiqiang smiled confidently. He had already concluded that Wang Zhong wasn't doing well. In his heart, he blamed Mao Jianhua for bringing Li Tu here. It was too low class. Li Tu, let me tell you. This game that Jiqiang invented is really good. Both Jiqiang and I have invested a lot of effort into it. Mao Jianhua explained excitedly. After listening to his explanation, Wang Zhong found out that Mao Jianhua had invested 200,000. As for Chen Jiqiang, he didn't invest any money. In Mao Jianhua's words, Jiqiang's game was worth more than 200,000. His investment of 200,000 gave him 5% of the shares. It was already good enough. Li Tu, I invested 200,000. Do you have any funds? After working for so many years, you should have some, right? Why don't you invest too? The three of us can work together. Mao Jianhua said confidently. Looking at his confident face, Wang Zhong felt awkward. Did this guy think that he would definitely succeed? Not to mention that there were tens of thousands of games on the market every year. If Chen Jiqiang was really capable, he wouldn't have failed until now. Then can I take a look at the game? If it's good, I can consider it. Wang Zhong thought for a while. Li Tu, You don't believe in Jiqiang's ability. We are classmates. Why would we lie to you? Mao Jianhua was unhappy with Wang Zhong's words. In his opinion, Chen Jiqiang was the best and the most capable. He would definitely be a big shot with a net worth of hundreds of millions. How dare Li Tu doubt him? It's not that I don't believe in you. I just want to take a look. Wang Zhong frowned. Mao Jianhua was too protective of Chen Jiqiang. Yi Leiqian, who was beside Mao Jianhua, was nervous. She knew that Wang Zhong was a scumbag. If he was unhappy with her boyfriend, she would be the one to suffer. After all, if Li Tu told Mao Jianhua the truth about her, Mao Jianhua would definitely not want her. Therefore, she could only pray that Wang Zhong wouldn't say anything. All right, if he wants to take a look, then let him take a look, Chen Jiqiang said. Chapter 567. Chen Jiqiang's words were like an imperial edict to Mao Jianhua. Mao Jianhua nodded and said, Since Jiqiang has said so, I'll show you how good the game is. Mao Jianhua took out his phone from his bag and opened a game called Gluttonous Pig. I'm sure you'll be interested in this game. It's interesting and easy to control. Look. On the screen was a skinny pig. Mao Jianhua started to control the pig. The pig ran around the screen, and food appeared on the screen from time to time. The pig didn't stop eating. From time to time, wolves would run out and threaten the pig. The pig had to escape the wolves while eating. Otherwise, it would starve to death or be bitten to death. After looking at the game, Wang Zhong only wanted to say, who would play such a retarded game? Originally, he thought that if Chen Jiqiang were to invent PUBG, Glory, or even Red Alert, then he would seriously consider investing. But from the looks of it now, it was clearly a brainless game. How is it? Mao Jianhua was proud. This was a game created by Brainiac. Though he didn't find it interesting, he didn't like to play games. That was his reason. Those who liked to play games would find this game fun. How is it? Mao Jianhua said proudly as he looked at his girlfriend, Yi Leiqian. It's all right, Yi Leiqian said. Wang Zhong shook his head and said honestly, I don't find it interesting. Interesting? Li Tu, do you understand this game? Sigh, it seems like you don't know the industry. No wonder you haven't achieved much. Mao Jianhua couldn't help but say. Chen Jiqiang said unhappily. Li Tu, if you don't have money to invest, why are you belittling my game? I understand that you're jealous of my talent, but that's human nature. There's a difference between good and bad. If you're weaker than me, you should help me. When I'm successful, I'll protect you. If not, even if we're classmates, I won't help you. Fine, I'm not successful yet, and Chen Jiqiang is already talking about this. Wang Zhong felt that he was really wasting his time here. Of these two, one was a narcissist while the other was a super bootlicker. What's more, he was a bootlicker. Even if the game was really good, Wang Zhong would not invest in it. Yeah, I don't need your help. Moreover, I'm just stating facts. This game is really rubbish. Wang Zhong stood up and prepared to leave. TSK, as if you can afford it. Mao Jianhua was disdainful. Wang Zhong, who was about to leave, stopped, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he went to his luxury car outside the display window. Beep beep. The car flashed twice. Chen Jiqiang, Mao Jianhua, and Yi Leiqian were all dumbfounded. This Li Tu actually drove such a good car. Chen Jiqiang knew that he had made a mistake. He was filled with regret. Why did he pretend to be arrogant? In fact, he was well aware of his shortcomings. Although he was talented, he lacked money. He lacked startup capital. No matter how good a project was, it was nothing without money to start it. As for Chen Jiqiang, he was a gifted scholar. How could he beg others for money? He felt that the rich people in this world all relied on trickery to become rich. In terms of intelligence and talent, Chen Jiqiang could crush them. What he didn't expect was that Li Tu, who was once the most humble and honest student in his class, would drive such a good car. Most importantly, he was not interested in his game. Lowly, this Li Tu is a lowly person. Chen Jiqiang was filled with disdain. His pride made him unwilling to chase after Wang Zhong. However, Mao Jianhua didn't think so much. He stepped in front of Wang Zhong and smiled. Is there anything else? Wang Zhong asked as he rolled down the window. Li Tu, it's rare for us to get together. Why are you leaving so early? Looking at the flattering Mao Jianhua, Wang Zhong said, I already said that I'm not interested in this game. I didn't say that. We just want to have a chat. As the saying goes, don't hit a smiling face. Wang Zhong was still pulled down by Mao Jianhua. Li Tu, I didn't expect you to buy such a good car. As soon as Wang Zhong sat down, Mao Jianhua took the initiative to pour tea for Wang Zhong. Wang Zhong didn't want to stay here any longer. However, he wanted to see what would happen if he gave this arrogant Chen Jiqiang a blow later. Li Tu, I want to know why you don't like my game? I think this game is perfect. Chen Jiqiang couldn't stand it anymore. Mao Jianhua, who had been licking his boots, was serving Wang Zhong like this. He was a talented person. Others should be licking his boots. Mao Jianhua was bowing down to capital. Chen Jiqiang couldn't help but look down on this Mao Jianhua. In his heart, Chen Jiqiang looked down on Mao Jianhua. Normal people would look down on a bootlicker, especially the one being bootlicker. Wang Zhong leaned on the sofa and said calmly, Chen Jiqiang, since you said that your game is good, I'd like to hear what's so good about it. This made Chen Jiqiang very uncomfortable, as if he was being questioned by a superior. However, in order to get Wang Zhong's investment, he had no choice but to endure it. Li Tu, I know you were jealous of my talent. However, it's not my fault that I'm talented, right? Next, I'll explain the fun of this game. I hope you won't look at me with prejudice. Chen Jiqiang said confidently. Although he had a favor to ask of Wang Zhong, he wouldn't lower his voice. Firstly, the main character of this game is a pig. This makes the game more interesting. Secondly, the pig is constantly being chased by wolves. This adds a lot of movement to the game. This makes the player feel the charm of the game. Wang Zhong was speechless. It's just making the pig run up and down. That's called adding a lot of movement? Chen Jiqiang then said a lot. However, Wang Zhong realized that he didn't talk much about the game. He talked about how to increase the game's payment and how to advertise. He painted a big pie for Wang Zhong. To sum it all up, my game is awesome. My game can make a lot of money. In Wang Zhong's eyes, those who play your game are idiots. Chen Jiqiang felt good after he finished. He believed that with his eloquence, someone with Li Tu's IQ would definitely be moved. After all, he painted a big pie. Wasn't pulling in investments to paint a big pie. However, it was a pity that Wang Zhong disappointed him. I'm sorry. Everything you said just now was nonsense. You only talked about the payment and how to advertise. The key is the content. As for your content, other than using a pig as the main character, what else is there? Also, I feel that using a pig as the main character is too low class. I really don't know how you came up with this idea. Although Wang Zhong doesn't know how to make games, no matter how stupid he is, he wouldn't use a pig as the main character. Most importantly, the pig in this game is so ugly. You can make it cuter. What? You said my game is too low class? Chen Jiqiang felt like he had heard a fairy tale. To think that someone as outstanding as him would say his game is too low class. Oh my god, this person is doing it on purpose. He's definitely doing it on purpose. This is jealousy. Yi Leiqian looked at Chen Jiqiang speechlessly. Actually, she looked down on this Chen Jiqiang. He doesn't have any money and still likes to show off. Only her boyfriend keeps saying that Chen Jiqiang is a talent. To Yi Leiqian, talent is not something that can be eaten. It's better to just get money. Take Li Tu for example. Yi Leiqian secretly regretted it. Isn't this guy a delivery man? She didn't expect him to drive such a luxurious car. If she had known, she would have approached him. Even if it doesn't work out, she would have paid him more for sleeping with her. At this moment, Mao Jianhua was the first to get angry. He stood up and spoke up for Chen Jiqiang. Li Tu, you can't find anything bad about Jiqiang's game. How dare you say his game is too low class? You disappoint me. Mao Jianhua was furious. To think that I treated you as a good friend from the same dorm. You sigh. Can't I speak my mind? If this game isn't good, then it's not good. Li Tu, Jiqiang has the best taste. He can definitely do it. You're giving up a chance to make a fortune. Mao Jianhua felt that Li Tu didn't cherish such a good opportunity. Wang Zhong had already stood up. He felt that there was no point in staying here any longer. I'm sorry. You think this game is good, but I don't think so. Li Tu, I beg you. Let's put it this way. If you help us, it's equivalent to helping Jiqiang's family. Jiqiang is very hardworking. You can't treat him like this just because you're jealous. Wang Zhong. So he said all this because he was jealous? Forget it. Chen Jiqiang stood up as well. In this world, petty people are everywhere. Mao Jianhua, there's no need to talk to people with bad taste. No, Jiqiang. If you leave like this, what will happen to you and Yao Bing? You're about to talk about marriage with her, but you don't have money. Her mother will definitely not agree to your marriage. Mao Jianhua gritted his teeth and said with an indignant expression, Forget it. I'll take one step at a time. I don't believe that all the rich people in this world have bad taste. Chen Jiqiang said helplessly. He was probably talking about him. Wang Zhong shook his head, but still asked curiously, I didn't expect you and Yao Bing to be getting married. Yao Bing was the goddess of their class. Not only was she exceptionally beautiful, but she was also very good at her studies. In Wang Zhong's impression, Yao Bing was the goddess of the original Li Tuesday. Li Tu once sent Yao Bing a love letter, but was mercilessly mocked by Yao Bing. I understand now. Chen Jiqiang suddenly understood. You must know that Yao Bing and I are together, so you're holding a grudge and purposely not investing in me, right? This person's imagination is too rich, isn't it? Wang Zhong sighed. Think whatever you want. I knew it. Li Tu. I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Wang Zhong didn't want to waste any more time, so he got up and left. When he was outside, Mao Jianhua didn't give up and chased after him. Mao Jianhua knocked on Wang Zhong's car window and said, Li Tu, since we've met, why don't we exchange numbers? Chapter 568. In the end, Wang Zhong left his phone number with Mao Jianhua and left. While he was driving, the little beauty Su Xiaoyan called. Brotherly, Zhang Kaitai and a friend are here. They said they are looking for you, Su Xiaoyan said worriedly. Mainly because she saw the person beside Zhang Kaitai. He had a tattoo of a green dragon on his left arm and a white tiger on his right arm. Su Xiaoyan was afraid that they would cause trouble for Wang Zhong. In her heart, Wang Zhong was her man. She did not want her man to encounter any trouble. Why is Zhang Kaitai looking for me? Wang Zhong frowned. I'm not sure. He said he has a business to discuss. Okay. I got it. Wang Zhong sped up. At the same time, he thought that the other party might want his 10 shops. After all, Wang Zhong had eavesdropped on Zhang Kaitai's phone call. That brother Biao clearly proposed to buy his place. However, the price was lower than him, so he was robbed. Let's see what tricks they have up their sleeves. When he arrived at the entrance of his company, he saw Zhang Kaitai, and a bald man in a black singlet with tattoos all over his body walking towards him. Director Li. Zhang Kaitai's expression was not good, especially his face. There were bruises all over. It seemed like he was beaten up, because he did not have the money to pay. Wang Zhong pretended not to know and asked curiously, Yo, Director Zhang, what happened to your face? It's nothing. I accidentally fell while riding. Zhang Kaitai squeezed out a smile. Then you have to be careful. Did you go to the hospital? Yes, it's fine. That's good. What's the matter? As he spoke, Wang Zhong looked at the bald man. Hello, Director Li. My name is Su Biao. Brother Biao smiled and extended his hand to Wang Zhong. After the two shook hands, Su Biao said, I have a table in the restaurant in front. Do you want to have a meal together? Is that so? Wang Zhong nodded, okay. In the Jinjiang Hotel, Su Biao poured some beer for Wang Zhong and smiled. I never expected that Mr. Li would be so successful at such a young age. It's truly unexpected. It's nothing, just that my family is rich. Wang Zhong responded casually. I wonder why Boss Su invited me to dinner for no reason. Haha, Chief Li is indeed a straightforward person. Since you've asked, it would seem like I'm stingy if I don't tell you. Then I'll tell you. It's like this. One of my brothers thinks that your place is good and wants to buy it. Wang Zhong secretly thought that it was as expected and asked, Oh, why? My brother wants to do intermediary business. Well, how much does he want to pay? 5 million. Zhang Kaitai, who was next to him, had a dejected look on his face. Back then, in order to pay back his debt, he had sold it for only 5 million. Now the other party had directly offered 5 million. He could tell that Su Biao was the one who had harmed him. But so what if he knew? He had no money or power now. What could he use to fight? On the contrary, in order to pay back his debt, he could only struggle at death's door and beg Su Biao for a few more days. Su Biao knew that he couldn't pay, so he suggested that he come over to be a lobbyist. As long as he persuaded Wang Zhong to sell the place, he would be exempted from hundreds of thousands. Wang Zhong remained calm and collected. His many lifetimes of experience had taught him a phrase. That was a weasel paying a visit to a chicken. Nothing good would come out of it. These guys wanted to buy his place for no reason. Did they really fancy the location of the place? No matter how good the location was, they had offered more than 6 million. To be honest, even if they bought it, they wouldn't earn much. There must be something hidden in this. Chiefly, we came here with sincerity. You should think about it carefully, Su Biao said again. Well, I'm really sorry. Wang Zhong suddenly spoke. I don't plan to sell it yet. Zhang Kaitai on the side was anxious and quickly helped. What a good opportunity. Chiefly, you don't plan to sell it? You can make 1 million if you sell it. And let me tell you a secret. That place is actually not very good. Oh, why is it not good? The quality of the house is not good. I wanted to sell it at that time because of this reason. So you are deliberately harming me. Wang Zhong looked at him as if he was a fool. No, I only knew about it later. I feel that you are a good person, so I came to tell you. It had to be said that the lobbyist that Su Biao found was not good at all. Even a child wouldn't believe such words, right? Wang Zhong continued. And I got it. I will find someone to check the house later. You, Zhang Kaitai didn't know what to say. He looked at Su Biao. Su Biao smiled and said, It seems that Chiefly is not short of money. How about this? You name a price. You see what price is suitable. I will be honest. I am not short of money because my family is rich. I bought this for fun, so that my dad won't always force me to start a business. Do you understand? Oh, so that's the case. Su Biao rolled his eyes and stopped talking about these things. Instead, he began to toast Wang Zhong. Chiefly, you are a straightforward person. I like it. Come, let's drink. We will be friends in the future. By the way, Chief Zhang, aren't we going to sing later? Sing. Zhang Kaitai was a bit confused. Su Biao's people just beat him up. They're still going to sing? However, after seeing Su Biao winking at him, Zhang Kaitai suddenly realized. And yes, we're going to sing later. Wang Zhong laughed in his heart. This Su Biao seemed to be ready to trick him. He would be an idiot if he didn't go and have some fun. Wang Zhong gladly accepted the invitation. Soon the three of them arrived at the nightclub. Wang Zhong was not polite. He ordered 3 bottles of red wine that cost 3,888 yuan and called 3 girls to play together. Zhang Kaitai, this guy knows how to play. F***CK. This time I spent more than 30,000 yuan. Looking at Wang Zhong who was playing with a few girls, Su Biao secretly talked to Zhang Kaitai. Brother Biao, this kid doesn't want to sell. What should we do? What are you afraid of? This kid looks like a rich second generation. He doesn't know anything about the world. We will find him a few more times later and bring him to play baccarat. Alright then. Zhang Kaitai cursed in his heart. This was the same trick that Su Biao used to lure him. However, it was too late to say anything now. He could only follow this path to the end. Brother Biao, thank you for treating me to a meal and singing today. I am very happy. I will treat you later. Walking out of the club, Wang Zhong shouted. Hee, it's okay. We are all friends, good brothers. Yes, good brothers. At this time, the car that came to pick up Wang Zhong came. After getting in the car, Wang Zhong's originally relaxed face instantly became serious. Brotherly, why did you play so late? Really? The one who came to pick up Wang Zhong was Su Xiaoyan. Knowing that Wang Zhong came to play tonight, Su Xiaoyan was naturally jealous and a little emotional. Also, you could have played with anyone, but you chose to play with them. Have you forgotten who caused Zhang Kaitai to be like this? Wang Zhong did not expect Su Xiaoyan to be so concerned. It seemed that she had taken the initiative to put herself in his shoes. Xiaoyan, don't worry. I know what I am doing. I can tell that you know what you are doing when you are not drunk. I am just a little worried. After all, those people are not easy to deal with. I understand. I think it will not be long before they recommend me to gamble. Then why are you still playing with them? Not only do I want to play with them, but I also want them to give me money. Wang Zhong said confidently. What, you want them to give you money? How is that possible? Su Xiaoyan's face was full of disbelief. Then you just have to wait and see. On the other side, Chen Jiqiang, Mao Jianhua, and Yi Leiqian were having dinner. While eating, Mao Jianhua was still talking about Wang Zhong's faults. Jiqiang, that guy is just jealous of your talent. He's jealous that you've won Yao Bing's heart. Back then, Li Tu even sent Yao Bing a love letter. He also liked Yao Bing. Now that you're with Yao Bing, he's just jealous. Jianhua stopped talking. What's the use of saying this now? So what if he is capable and talented? He still refuses to invest in me. Wait until I become rich in the future. I will teach him a lesson. Chen Jiqiang took a big gulp of beer. In his mind, he imagined the scene when he became rich. Since that scum likes Yao Bing, why don't you let Yao Bing talk to him? Maybe he will give Yao Bing face when he sees her? At this time Yi Leiqian spoke. Let Yao Bing talk to him. Mao Jianhua was stunned. Yao Bing was Chen Jiqiang's girlfriend. With Chen Jiqiang's pride, would he agree to let her talk to him? Subconsciously, he looked at Chen Jiqiang. Chen Jiqiang's face changed. In his heart he was proud. How could he let his girlfriend help him get investment? Wouldn't that be giving his girlfriend away? However, if he didn't do that, he wouldn't be able to get investment. These days Mao Jianhua, and he had begged a lot of people, but they didn't get investment. This made him feel pressured. After all, Yao Bing's mother said that if he couldn't get a house and a car, he could forget about having her daughter. Why do people in this world love money so much? Chen Jiqiang roared in his heart. Little did they know that he loved money too. Jiqiang, why don't I go with Yao Bing? After all, we are old classmates. Maybe Li Tu will give you face and invest. Mao Jianhua didn't explicitly say that Yao Bing should go, but he said that they should go together. He was giving Chen Jiqiang face. Chen Jiqiang's face softened. He nodded and said, Yes, Li Tu is too jealous of me. It's not appropriate for me to go over. Jianhua, I'll leave it to you. Yi Leiqian rolled her eyes. This Chen Jiqiang was too pretentious. He was obviously begging Li Tu, but he still said that he was too jealous. However, she did not say anything. In her heart, she also hoped that they could pull in investments. When Mao Jianhua made money, she could also become a rich wife. From then on, she would not have to accompany those old men to earn pocket money. She was very happy. Compared to Yi Leiqian's thoughts, Mao Jianhua quickly puffed out his chest and said, Jiqiang, you are too polite. I'm helping you because I think you will succeed. Don't give up. Yes, I won't give up. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.